Yes, sir.
Yes, this is me.
So, welcome back, everybody. Happy New Year. I hope you had a wonderful break. We're back here with the UFs, OGs. It's been a few weeks. I'm going to try and remember what happened. And we'll dive right in. So, last time out, you guys had made your way to Silverleaf Grove, found it abandoned and ransacked, bumped into an old friend of Baldwin's, and took yourselves over to one of the refugee encampments deep in the mountains, far off from the woods. There you found the camp being assaulted by a band of orcs, defeated them, however, under heavy suspicion from the camp leader, who also happens to be Baldwin's grandfather, Fenrir. You were somewhat entrapped within the encampment until they could decide what was best to do with you. In the meantime, you kind of bumbled around the camp a little bit, were almost poisoned by some breakfast that a halfling bought you. You began to investigate that and discovered that there was some connection between the halfling boy, Kyler, and the blood songs. You are desperate to leave the encampment, and Baldwin's mother, Tabitha, has provided an option, potential option, or will provide a potential option, hopefully, to how you might be able to conduct your escape. You, where we left off last time, was that you had long rested in the tent that has been afforded to you. So take a long rest if you haven't already, and you wake in the morning, and the day is yours.
Lorry full of ammunition. Been that long, I've forgotten how to fucking play the game. So obviously we're waiting to be let out. I mean, what are we doing in the meantime? Like, we're trying to speak to people, figure stuff out. I mean, what's going on?
What else is there? I mean, are we planning on doing more espionage-esque scouting on these Bloodsong people?
Yeah, we're coming up with a plan, right? Something like that. Sorry, Shimmer.
No, that's okay. Go on.
No, you're fine. No, that was it.
Well, if we're going to be stuck here most of the day, there's a couple of people I'd like to go speak to, if you don't mind. Like myself, without you guys.
How about?
Yeah.
Due to my lack of, I'm quite noticeable. I'll tell you that. How about I hold down the fort in case your mother arrives, Bolden, and then if you have business to do, you do your business and then meet back here.
Yeah. I was just trying to think before, like, what we talked about. I don't know if we had came up with some kind of plan that we were going to spy, because I know LeBorn is particularly sore about Michael, and he wants to find out. He wants to burn on his hand or something. I believe he was saying last time. I don't know if that's still the case.
I'm not sure it's wise to stir up trouble while we're waiting for your mother to get us out of here.
No, definitely not stirring up trouble. Just maybe try to figure out, like, what's the connection.
Yes.
If there's a connection between the blood songs and maybe the orcs or something, like in the tent or something like that.
Who did you want to speak to, Shimmer?
That's my business.
Very secretive.
I mean, you can probably, I can probably point you to the way, the way. Anyone particular high class?
I'm sure I can find who I'm looking for.
Okay, well, just be careful, because we're already kind of on thin ice with the locals. So.
I'm aware. I'll be
Okay.
careful, I promise. I won't start any fights.
Yeah, I'm not worrying about you starting the fight.
I didn't start that fight.
I'm sure it was Michael.
So Willow, do you want to
you-
give us a 30-minute monologue about what you're going to do today?
So, for the benefit of those watching, Pip's unwell at the moment, so she's here in spirit. She will DM me or one of the others if there's anything that she wants to do. But she's staying along rather than just kind of dipping out completely. So she's in bed and tucked up.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
I've
if
got
no one
nothing I
else is
wanna
doing anything, I'll skip off. Sorry, Jacob.
I was literally just saying I've got nothing I want to do specifically. Like, I'm happy to just go along with a plan or whatever. So if you want to go and speak to who you want to speak to, then go for it.
If you want, we can check out that tent Loborn. While Shimmer goes talks to whoever she needs to talk to.
Yeah, we can look at a tent if you want.
Yeah, it can be like a lookout. You can like while you take a look, see if you find anything useful in there.
Yeah.
What tent are you going to?
That's it. We just said the tent.
A tent.
Blood
you know.
songs. No, the Blood Songs tent.
That's.
Didn't we agree
Don't be
for me
noticeable.
not to do that right away because it's I don't know, quite dangerous?
Laboran, you're free to vocalize your frustrations, just don't act upon them just yet.
Okay, I'll take a cold shower then instead.
Or we can just wait here. We can just like shoot the stuff.
Shoot the
Play some
stuff.
darts.
No, like without cussing. Shoot the stuff. You know what I mean? Hang around.
I don't know this strange material playing phrase.
Has it been 2 minutes by any chance?
Yes, is my guess.
Just hang around and shoot the shit.
Yeah.
In 10 minutes.
Willow gets it.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we'll
I nearly attempted.
wait here.
Thank God I stopped myself.
Yeah, Laborn just like I guess very gentlemanly like walk Shimmer to the tent entrance and just sort of say, be careful as she leaves.
I'm always careful, you know that.
Where you headed, Shimmer?
I would like to go round to the Bloodsong side of the camp.
Okay. Make an investigation check for me. You aren't currently aware of where they're encamped. So yeah, make that check for me and see if you can
Investigation, yeah.
see if you can find them. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, specifically, I would be looking for Michael, so I'd probably go back to where we saw the kid first and just see if I can work it out from there.
Okay. 16. This camp isn't particularly large. You can walk around all of it in like 10 minutes tops. So after about 5 or 6 minutes of kind of wandering around, just keeping an eye out for any of the blood songs that you've seen before, there's an area of the encampment that appears to be arranged near the cave entrance. So there's in the encampment there's a cave entrance to one side, which is where you had previously been presented to Fenrir, and he kind of gave you particularly gave Boulder an address down when you first arrived. Near to there is what appears to be some kind of logistics area. There's carts and wagons, and a lot of the people that you've seen before that tend to come and go, who you assume are the kind of the scouts of this area, appear to be kind of picking up goods. It's where you also saw or would have seen Xander kind of bring his cart back from Silverleaf Sanctuary when you arrived. As you walk past this area, you do see Michael, and he's in a bit of a. You can see the front of him, and he's face to face with another individual that you can only see the back of their head, and they're in some degree of an altercation. The other individual is of a similar size. He has a backpack strapped over his shoulders. They seem to be arguing. The other individual is kind of flailing his arms out, like, almost in a gesture to say, "I don't know what you're talking about," kind of thing. They're probably about 50, 60 feet away from you. You can't make out the conversation that they're having. Michael, his face is clearly agitated. And as this conversation looks to come to a close, he walks kind of just slightly to the side of the other individual and just kind of shoulder barges them as he storms off in a different direction, and they kind of stumble to the ground. As they stumble to the ground, you see that the individual that he'd had this altercation with was Xander. And Michael is now kind of storming off in your direction. Xander picks himself back up and reorganizes his equipment and starts to go back to whatever he was doing.
All right. Well, here goes nothing. I'll try to, I guess, sort of, for want of a better phrase, flag Michael down.
Okay. So yeah, he's walking in your direction, not to you, but along the pathway that's there, very stern-faced, walking with some kind of intent. He doesn't immediately notice you, so yeah, you'd have to kind of shout his name or kind of get in his way to be able to do that.
Yeah, I think I'd probably try to step into his line of sight, not to physically block him. I don't want to antagonize him that way. But
yeah, so as you kind of get into his field of vision and make yourself known to his presence, he kind of stops in his tracks and looks up at you. And yeah.
Michael, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look, I can see you're very busy, and I'm sorry to bother you, but I wondered if it would be possible to take 30 seconds of your time and have a private conversation.
He just kind of looks around the space of him quickly, almost kind of looking to see if anybody's watching this conversation take place. He's like, fine, make it quick. What do you want?
Well, it's about your son.
About Kyler? What do you care?
Well, I come to you as someone who loved a child that wasn't their own as well, and I'm just concerned about him. I mean, if you want to have this conversation here, that's fine. If you want to go somewhere a bit more private, I'm willing to do that.
Kind of looks at you very confused. I'm not sure what it's got to do with you.
Well, you're right, it doesn't. But look, here's the rub. I won't take too much of your time, but basically, the first morning that we arrived here, Kyla brought some breakfast to us, and unfortunately, it appeared to have been poisoned. And I make no accusation against you or the boy. It's clear to me that you're a man who gets things done and settles his scores in ways other than hiding behind a frightened child. I don't believe that you'd put him in that position. He was absolutely terrified. And all I want to say to you is that it may well be that there's somebody here who has some sort of hold or influence or power over him to frighten him into doing what they want to do. And I know that if it was me, I'd want to know if a child in my care was in that kind of danger. So that's all I wanted to say to you. Do with it what you will.
He kind of takes that in and then just chuckles to himself ever so slightly. Got any proof that he did this?
I mean, aside from the fact that I drank what he brought us and nearly died, that's the only proof I've got. You can take my word or not. It doesn't bother me. Like you said, it's none of my business. But I've got no reason to lie, and I just wanted to look out for the boy's well-being. So it's your business what you do with your family.
Yeah, you're right. It is. And if you want some advice from me, Stop stirring shit and keep your head down. Otherwise you'll never get out of here.
Fair enough. Thanks for your time. It was enlightening.
Just walks off. Not interested in what you've said at all.
Fair.
Carries on with his swift march back through the encampment. As you kind of turn back to where he'd come, or look back towards where he'd come from, Xander's just finished strapping up a rucksack, and he's kind of like seeing this conversation take place again. Just kind of looks around to see if anybody else has noticed. Just straddle, walks up to you gently, like, everything all right?
Yeah, everything's fine. Thank you. I escaped without him. Yeah, he is.
He's a
But
real
I'm fine.
All right, cool. All right, yeah, just.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm good. He's just an asshole. Doesn't like some of the things I gotta say, but anyway, I'm heading out. I've got another scouting job I gotta get on with. Fenris tasked me with meeting up with some of the other guys from one of the other camps, so I'll be gone for a day or so.
Well, before you go, as you're here, there was something I wanted to ask you about.
Sure, go for it.
Those lovely explodey things you barged into our tent with the other night.
My
Have
party
you got any
poppers?
more? 'Cause I quite like them. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd like some of those.
cool. Like whips his backpack off, like opens it up, like digs around inside. Yeah, there you go. And hands you kind of these. They look almost exactly like party poppers, but obviously the casings are not plastic. They're more of they're like what's the best way? Almost like a paper mache kind of construction behind them within a silk line attached to them. You're not quite sure on the mechanics of how this might work, but yeah, he hands you like 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet of you. Do you want anything for them?
No, you're good. I got a guy that I'm going to go meet in a minute from one of the other camps that kind of makes them. He dishes them out to people when we see them. So, yeah, I'll grab some more from the other guy in a bit. But
Oh, yeah, cool. Okay, well, I look forward to seeing you again.
yeah, same. Yeah, I'll be a couple of days. Let Baldwin know I'll be back soon. Not to worry about me or anything. Blood songs haven't killed me yet, and they'll have a tough time trying when I'm not here.
I mean, if they want to kill you, why are you talking to them?
Oh, I'm not trying to talk to him.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll avoid him if I can help it.
All right, fair dues. Well, we'll see you in a couple of days then, hopefully.
Yeah, no worries. All right, take it easy. See you in a bit.
Bye.
He goes back to the logistics area and finishes up his packing, and he's having a conversation with another couple of individuals. And if you spend enough time, you'll see him kind of head towards the main gate and make his way out of the camp.
All right, cool. I'll probably head back to our tent now at this point.
Cool.
As I go in, I'm going to let off one of the poppers.
Okay, nice. Yeah. So the rest of you
So
kind of
dance through the entrance of the tent in some sort of dramatic flair.
So you pull the string, and yeah, these streamers. There's this tiny explosion, and these streamers kind of go everywhere again.
LeBron
Like-
stand there, like looking a little bit unamused, just with sort of confetti over him, just like.
I'd just be
I'm
like,
back.
Xander, you bastard, you're back. Oh, Shimmer. Oh, I thought you were Xander with the stupid poppers again. Where'd you get
No,
those?
Xander's rolled on out for a couple of days, he said.
Oh, okay. Cool. I hope he's doing well.
Lexi's fight response kicked off, and he threw whatever he was holding at Laboran.
What were you holding?
Why are you boring?
Yeah, well, yeah.
His face was closer.
That's fair. Yeah.
Probably. I was
Sorry, what were you doing with your
useless
boring space while I was gone?
No, I don't. You don't need to know. But I was brushing Junior with a brush made of slime, so it isn't really effective. But I've seen other people do it with horses. So I was brushing Junior, and then I threw the brush at LeBron.
his ass end or his front end?
His slimy mane.
Oh, I mean. Yeah, I don't know.
Is the whole
Actually,
damn horse in here the whole time?
Yes,
Kind of just
that's
yeah.
what it was funny because the front half fits in, but the butt's sticking out.
It's hitched. It's hitched on a post on the outside, but the line is long enough for it to get its head in the door of the tent.
You have to awkwardly squeeze past it when you got enter.
So was your adventures fruitful, Shimmer?
No, I didn't expect them to be, but I got these, and she holds up some more poppers.
Oh, nice, yeah. That's right, yeah.
Why-
Ran into Xander.
Why have you got the poppers?
Because they're cool, and I asked Xander, and he gave me a couple.
He's chill like
Okay.
that.
The one was brush some out of his hair.
With the hairbrush.
Yeah, he's just a really chill guy. Yeah, that's right.
I know it's full of slime. You wouldn't use that. You just use sand.
That could be
Convenient.
Gel. You could use that as LeBron. You could use that as gel.
Does hair gel exist?
It can if it's brushed off my gelatinous horse.
Are we straying into there's something about Mary territory here?
I've not seen that.
You're all too young. Thank you for validating me, Andy.
I'm not British, so I don't know the joke. So you can't.
What time? What is it? Is
Can't
it
blame me.
still like early morning?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
American
yeah.
film.
Still early morning.
I
I mean,
oh, old.
What I found online.
Oh,
not
Cameron
much to do.
Diaz. Okay.
Oh, that.
Anyway, sorry, what were we doing?
I have no idea.
No, we're
I don't know.
deciding
Just
what to do.
Cameron Diaz is in. Join the chat or something. I don't know.
Well, I just made a dramatic entrance and covered Laborin in fluff, and that was it. So
And then I asked Shimmer how it went, and it went bad. So why bad,
Oh, I-
Shimmer?
it wasn't bad. It just nothing.
It wasn't
came of it.
fruitful. Okay.
I said it was. I got poppers.
Got poppers.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, that could be a good distraction for something. Yeah. Or to annoy people.
Am I not distracting enough as I am?
I mean, it definitely helps. It adds to the distraction that you have, the aura.
I'm gonna go like
Alright.
look for cats stuck in trees.
You're gonna go look for cats
I feel like
stuck in trees.
I feel like I need to do some lawful gooding.
Okay.
Yeah, idle
but they might
hands
be
are the
druids.
devil's playthings.
I'm just gonna like, justice needs me. I'm gonna go for a wander.
This paladin's getting itchy paladinitis. All right, cool. So who's heading out and where you going?
I just have no sense of direction. Like, I don't know what to do.
Well, I also don't know what to do. That's why I'm going to go out and look for things to do.
Okay, true. Maybe something will come upon us. Can I join
Yeah.
you?
Feel free. Only if you agree now to assist me in lawful gooding.
Yeah, of course.
Thank
Yeah.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Yep.
Onwards.
Got your back.
All right.
Yep.
Cool. Let's have both of you make an investigation check then. So either individually or one of you with advantage.
I'm okay with the one-on-one.
Yeah, I think we're both equally shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proficient. 10+3.
Oh damn! I'm dumb as hell. Why don't you roll with advantage, my friend?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, all
Thank
right.
God we did that.
Nice. 21. Okay. So wandering around the camp, looking for some do-gooding to do. There's a bunch of things. There's the odd child struggling to drag a crate or a box of something through the mud. It's obviously been tasked to do that, so you can spend a bit of time helping them out to take goods wherever they're looking to get them to. You can imagine a montage of some kind of low-key local hero just going around and helping old ladies cross the road type situation, throughout the camp. So you spend some time doing that. However, in your micro adventures of goodness throughout the camp, you do see Hans leave one of the tents at some point. Kind of walks through the flaps of the tent, addresses himself, gets straightens himself up, and then carries off to go wherever he's looking to go.
I'll have a quick recap of Hans's deal.
Say again?
May I have a quick recap on Hans's deal? Again, I only have my notes. For some reason, my brain stopped working.
Baldwin's right there to ask.
Yes, Baldwin, it appears. Aha, my character's got memory loss. Baldwin, remind me.
Yeah.
We know him, right?
Yeah, we know him.
Could you expound on why he's walking away? This might be a useful chance to glean some information.
Oh, okay. You want me to flag him down?
I'd rather. Do you know his deal?
It chopped up when it said his name. Did he say a name? I didn't hear it.
Oh, it was Hans.
We recognize Hans.
Oh, Hans? Yeah.
Yes.
I know my hands.
Not your hand, sir. Minus the duh.
Hans.
Oh, Hans, yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's Hans.
He's walking away. This is a person we've heard about and know. I feel like
Do you want to follow him?
Screw it. Hans, my good sir.
I think you do a lot of charades.
I still don't know I still don't remember his deal. If you could not guess what I'm trying to glean.
Oh, he's not a good guy, no.
Oh. I retract my statement, Mr. Hans. Carry on with your business.
As he's walking away from you, and you scream out his name, he kind of looks back and sees you like both kind of flapping around in conversation, and you just kind of wave him on. He's like, "The fuck?" Carries on.
Yeah. You want to know who? Yeah, Hans. Yeah, he's remember he's Michael's dad. He's kind of a dick.
Oh, more than a dick than Michael.
Yeah. If he's well, it's tough to beat, but yeah.
Was he the man who thumped the Laboran in the back of the head?
No, that was Michael.
Okay. Was he the shove?
Wait, actually, I don't know if I know that, but I want to say it's Michael.
Yeah, Michael was the one that.
Whatever.
So Laboran was in confrontation with Hans, and then Michael.
Yeah, but I don't know if I saw it.
You might not have, but I'm going to assume at some point that information has been divulged. So.
Yeah. Okay. It was a part of that altercation.
Mm-hmm.
Whereabouts are we in the camp? Are we in the place you said where?
No, so you be in the far northwest corner of the camp. You haven't yet identified at all where the Bloodsong camp tent is, but it's reasonable to assume that this might be it, since he's just left it.
How did he look like coming out? Did he look like he was kind of looking to his sides when he was coming out? Did he look like he's just walking out?
It looked like it was his. Looked like he was leaving the tent for the first time in the day.
Okay. Well, this is it. This is the tent. It seems.
It does. I guess we should note its location so we can just bring it back. I mean, or we could pull a hole, not kick open the. It's a tent. It doesn't have a door.
Yeah, it's been a while since you kicked down a door, huh?
Push open the. Sorry, push open the flap and say, "Oh, wrong tent," and have a quick glance inside, and then step out. Or you know how we had the rabbit child peeping in on us earlier. We pull a 180. You assume the form of a rodent, insect, small thing. Do our own snooping. He says, quietly to Bolton, because we're probably in the middle of the open.
I mean, that's actually not a bad idea. I could pretend to be Kyler, right? Because if I remember correctly, druids don't really know who they are when they're wild shaped, right? Like, there's just no way like we can identify each other, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
or you could just be like an insect. You don't have to assume. You don't have to put yourself in a position where you have to deceive in case someone. What if Kyler's in there right now, or
it's
the other one?
If I'm an insect, like how I wouldn't be able to see too much, would I?
Your range would be very limited. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, other road then. Rat, mouse, something unnoticeable, or
there is a lot of
not
vermin in this
bothered.
encampment. It's not the tidiest or cleanest of places, and since the druids have been here for a while, there is, as you're walking between tents and that kind of thing, you do every now and again see a rat or a mouse kind of scurry across the floor. They're quite common. Either because they're druids, wild shaped, or because they're genuine rats.
And we wouldn't know the difference.
Yes, exactly. There's probably 3 rats in there already, and just take a peruse.
Yeah.
Maybe sneak through some. Sorry, whispering. Take a peruse. Maybe sneak through some thingamabobs, bags and stuff, just to clarify for our own personal safety their involvement or non-involvement of our near-death experience.
Of course, yeah. I mean, and to be fair, you did drink it like willingly, though. So
why? Again, my knowledge
sorry,
at the time was
porridge?
the drinks were poisonous. The porridge was fun because who poisons porridge?
The blood
That is not a normal thing.
They're that evil. You don't understand. They're evil. It knows no bounds.
Well, again, I'd like to have proof before I smite. So that is my character. That is my oath. I am a lawful good. Actually, I'm chaotic good, but still. Mission go. I will walk over here.
While this conversation has been taking place, Hans has made his way back, and he has a tray of food and drink kind of stacked on it, and he makes his way back into the tent.
Orange?
As he's doing that, we're just like...
Yep, pretty much, yeah.
Another cat. I'll be on my way, good citizen. Go.
Another kid needs help with the box.
Yes.
Anyway.
A grandmother. I'll help you cross the road.
Yeah,
there's a lot of traffic.
Yes. I'm like a lollipop lady for grandparents.
your friendly neighborhood blob.
Yes. And while I'm doing it, getting a better reputation.
Yes.
Look at us. I'm probably less hated now.
It's true. You might even get discounts.
Yeah.
Or something.
I'll just go and stop saying, there's a high likelihood I've assisted your grandmother in the recent past. May I have a discount? Okay, no.
Okay,
go.
So...
Bite me on the ankle when you're done.
Bite you? Would you even feel it?
Yes, I have feelings. I just can't smell or
You don't have
taste.
twinks, though.
Nerve endings. Like, do you have nerve endings?
Finally, on the part of me that I've assumed the shape of an ankle.
Okay.
What?
Okay, so do I go rodent right now that he's in there with food? So that means,
Maybe-
do we see the food? Do we see how much it is?
Yeah.
Like, is he bringing someone else breakfast?
It looks to be enough for at least 2 people.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, you see the food tray?
Maybe change. Hide behind a tree or something. Make sure you're at least out of sight.
In the
by
tent?
general. Not in the tent.
Oh, before I transform.
Then shape, and then go. I doubt there's a tree in the tent.
No, yeah, I know. I was gonna hide. I wasn't gonna do it here in the. Okay, so I go now.
For the third time, mission start.
Okay, I go find a hiding place and hide and turn into a rat.
Okay. In fairness, there are a lot of people that you see throughout the camp that shift in and out of wild shape all the time. So it's it's not like you need to do it necessarily sneakily. It's just about where you.
Well, in case someone snitches, like they say, "Oh, I saw Baldur turn to a rat." Like it must have been him.
Yeah.
You know,
he's definitely going to poison their porridge. That damn porridge poison.
Revenge. It's revenge porridge.
Yeah.
That's what we gotta
revenge
make.
porridge.
Yeah.
Revenge. Cool. So yeah, fairly easy to find somewhere to do that subtly. So yeah, I'll say that you wild shape into a rat, and then you're about 20-30 feet away from the tent at the moment.
Okay, I make my way like towards maybe not like a flap, but like maybe a side if there's like a little like a little opening.
Yeah,
like
so
that,
all the tents, like the bottoms of them are where they're pegged into the ground. Like there is, about an inch gap off the floor where small creatures can kind of poke their heads through. It's the same situation with what you'd seen with the rabbit when he poked his head through the bottom of the tent before. So yeah, you can do that. You get reasonably close. Make a stealth check for me. As a rat.
As a rat.
I will find you a stat book if you need one. Roll a d20 for me.
I wonder if they're even stealthy.
I mean, even if you notice, they're probably going to be like, "Oh, look, a rat."
Right. Yo,
plus
it's a rat.
Plus 0 to stealth, so it's just a flat d20 anyway.
Okay. Roll it.
6. Okay. So you kind of go around to the back side of this tent, like kind of weaving in between people's feet as they're moving along, and you do get the occasional nudge from somebody as they're like walking along with a heavy box crate or something, or load of laundry, and trying to kick a rat away. Kind of scurry around, like make your way through the mud.
Watch where you're going.
Yeah, and then you kind of like you get to the tent. What do you want to do? You want to wriggle under the gap?
Yeah. I want to see if I can maybe take a peek to see if I'm under just right under their chair, right under a couch or something. If they're directly in front of me, I can see them looking down or
so
trying to get
poking your head under. As you look inside, you see the tent's interior is very similar to your own. Some makeshift beds that sit around the edges, and a small set of tables and chairs in the inside. In one of the corners of it, there is a desk on there with a stack of papers and things. You presume immediately that must be Hans and part of the work that he does for the Grove. But there are 2 individuals in there right now, sat at the table. One is Hans and the other is Michael, and they're currently in conversation. So, what would you like to do?
eavesdrop to see what they're talking about.
Sure. So, make a perception check for me.
As the rat.
Yes, please. I'll check.
It keeps your perception, wisdom scores on that, so it should be your own.
Yes, it will be your own. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Proficiency. Please. Okay.
Very good. Okay. You don't hear the full start of this conversation, but as you kind of poke your head through and you start to see who it is, Hans kind of not loudly, but he kind of like slams his hand on the table, and enough to make a few kind of bits of cutlery and plates and things kind of jump a little bit on the table.
Michael, this situation with Kyler needs to be handled. I've done everything to bring him into the fold, but if he continues to draw attention to himself, it will reflect poorly on us.
Michael kind of sits back in his chair a little bit. Father, Kyler's young. He's trying to find his place amongst us. Hans snarls back at him.
Trying is not enough. I've risked my reputation to allow that boy into this family and into the grove. He cannot carry the weight of our name. He will drag us down.
Michael kind of lowers his head a little bit. I'll speak with him, Father. He'll fall in line.
See that he does. Because if he doesn't, I will handle him myself.
There's a kind of bit of a brief pause in the conversation as they both take a drink and eat a little bit of food. Hans, in that moment, kind of seems to calm a little bit more.
Now, on to more important matters. These orcs. These attacks have thrown the grove into chaos. And that chaos is opportunity. The Linger is predictable, tied too closely to Fenrir in his blind loyalty. But Fenrir, his position as elder has grown tenuous.
Michael pipes up.
He still commands respect, Father. Turning the grove against him won't be easy. Respect can crumble. Once the orc threat is eliminated, we'll push to have the grove return to Silverleaf Sanctuary, back on familiar ground. We'll expose Fenrir's failures, his inability to prevent these attacks, his obsession with the shard. It all speaks to weakness. The Linger may sit on the oaken throne, but her allegiance to Fenrir will falter when the grove sees him unfit.
Michael kind of shifts in his chair a little bit, looking somewhat uneasy.
And if she doesn't turn against him, Father, what do we do then?
Hans's face changes again.
Then we'll erode Fenrir's reputation until he has no choice but to step aside. Whether through Thalindra's will or the grove's pressure, his time as elder will end. And when it does, we will be rightfully placed to put a blood song on the oaken throne.
Michael kind of like rubs his face a little bit and twitches his hands.
And Xander, he's been watching us. Xander is a liability. He's too curious, too involved. If he learns anything he shouldn't, it could unravel everything. Keep close to him. If he steps out of line, handle him.
Yes, Father.
Good. Xander's time is running out. Don't fail me, and remember, all of this is for the Blood Song name. One way or another, we will see our family in its rightful place of power. Do not dawdle, my son. We have things to do.
And they kind of go back to eating their food.
Okay. I kind of get the idea where like they're like they're pretty much done talking about business and now it's just gonna be like kind of like
No.
everyday conversation.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
So,
the
okay,
useful part of the eavesdropping the useful part of the eavesdrop that you get from that.
It's like under I'll say that for another 20 hours, and then I become a humanoid under their legs or something. That'd be
Fall
hilarious.
asleep by accident in wild shape.
Yeah, just
You
yeah.
you wake up and then in the morning, someone trips over a man whose head's half under.
I think at this point it's like 3 hours or something like that. So yeah, pass out, it's over.
Mhm.
But yeah, okay. I head out. I go to Lexi. I don't know if would he notice me? Like kind of like I'm going head back.
I am.
The
Also,
the
I did
fortunate
tell you to do something.
the fortunate thing is that you do, as you're there, like as you're eavesdropping and listening in, like another rat does come up towards you and start to like sniff at you a little bit. And kind of like, fuck off, fuck off.
Yeah, can
So they do kind of glance in that direction because they do see rats squabbling around. Like every now and again, they'll like throw a cup or something in that direction, but you get away with it. So they do see you, but they don't
Okay.
they don't see you as suspicious.
Yeah, they just kind of like get out of here. Okay, okay. I act like a rat. Scurry off.
Cool.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I head towards Lexi. I give him the signal, but I'm on his ankle, where his ankle would be, I guess.
Ah! What a rat has bitten me. I'm sorry, old lady, old lady miss.
Hang
I'll be
out,
taking my leave
asshole.
now to deal with this altercation. And I'll limp away with him on my ankle.
I'm just gonna, I'm gonna Ratatouille him, just gonna start, grab his head, get his pseudopods, and just start like walking.
Where are you going? Back to tent?
Yeah, got some
Yeah.
stuff to say.
Laborin, Shimmer, and Willow, if you have the energy, what are you guys up to?
What are we up to? Boring.
Tiddlywinks. I think that you probably asked sort of a bit more in depth about what she was up to. So like Shimmer. So what wasn't fruitful? What did you go and do?
Well, I went and had a little quiet word with Michael.
Why?
You didn't have to say it like that. Because, truth be told, I was concerned about the child, and I know it was a risky thing to do, but I figured, like, hey, he either knows that something's going on, or he doesn't. So yeah, I was just concerned for the boy's sake, really.
It's very kind of you. What did he say? Did he appreciate your kindness?
No, he was a wanker, as you might expect. But I didn't expect anything else. My conscience is clear.
So did he seem like he already knew? Or...
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I try not to pay too much attention to him. He just shrugged it off, said I shouldn't be stirring shit. Even though I was as polite as I possibly could have been. But I find him quite intimidating. But I was more concerned. About the possible danger that child's in. He was obviously terrified when he brought us that shit. So, I've done what I could. I feel like my conscience felt like I should do, and that's the end of that. So, if I never speak to him again, then I'll be a happy satyr.
So, I mean, you were, you're a parent who lost a child, so you'd know more, I suppose. But if you heard that about your child, I think you'd be pretty concerned and wouldn't tell someone to stop staring shit. So, I mean, that says to me that he knows at least something's up, and he's possibly involved.
Well, I mean, with
the child.
Look, he's clearly overcompensating for something, so I take it with a pinch of salt. It could very well have been bravado.
Maybe. I don't trust him.
I don't trust anybody here.
Yeah, save from us. I don't trust anyone either.
I'd say about this
Are you
time,
going to go through?
Baldwin and Lexi.
Sorry, Jack.
Baldwin and Lexi kind of make their way back to the tent at this point.
RJ, would Baldwin have whispered what he heard to Lexi on the way back?
Yeah, on the way back, I would have been like, maybe. I'm assuming you wear a helmet or some.
I own a helmet. I could have slid it on.
Yeah, maybe, and then maybe you make room like a divot in your head, so I can kind of just rest there, and then you put like an ear there. Yeah.
My entire body's an ear. Don't worry, I don't need to form one.
Right, it's okay. So yeah, I'll be there, just kind of like telling you what's going on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. crazy stuff.
I'll make a. Yeah, I'm not going to make a grand entrance. I'm just going to walk it saying, "We have news."
Have many cats, Lexi?
Oh, numerous, uncountable. Well,
Were they all
it's-
actually cats or just druids?
I didn't ask. I don't speak cat.
It's all the same here.
Yeah, yes. I'm going to do a quick skim of, I don't know, the rim, the edge of the bottom edge of our tent, so there's no animals.
Make an investigation check.
What are rats good at? Do they have anything like special?
You don't find any. You don't see anybody snooping around or anything like that.
Okay. So, Golden, if you wish to exit my head, now would be the time. I'm not.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
No, yeah. I jump out, and as I jump out, I assume the shape of a humanoid, and just kind of land on my feet. Like, well, that was a ride. Reminds me of a film, but
God fucking damn it!
What's a film?
Sorry.
You mean a mate?
I can't let that go. Should address that before we go any further. Lexi did say that he was going to rim the tent. Just to be.
He did say he was gonna rim the tent.
I didn't say for him. I said skim. Have a look at
Skim
the rim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skim the rim.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
better. That's a better thing to say.
It is obviously the better thing to say.
Yeah.
I'm not going to indulge the rim.
Yeah. Just skim.
I simply skimmed it.
I would have scoured the rim, like to make sure there was nothing left.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean?
Right. Now we've
But-
addressed
I'll
that.
skim.
We can carry on.
You scour.
That's just me. I mean,
Other people indulge.
Is the rim
Do what you
clean?
wish
Lex?
with the rim. I wasn't looking for cleanliness. I was looking for the presence of foreign bodies. Anyway,
there's probably like rat shit everywhere, like little droplings.
I don't think you want foreign bodies in your room.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No foreign bodies in your room.
Anyway, news. If I remembered correctly, we during our adventures in lawful gooding, we came across
Montage.
yes, during our montage, actually at the end of our montage, we came across also getting close the resident tent of Anne Bloodsongs. Yes.
Find
And
anything else?
Yes. Baldwin had assumed the form of Anne Critter and did some snooping underneath. And,
Some scouring.
Some scouring. He scoured underneath the rim of their tent.
It was a tight fit, but I managed to do it because rats have like a very spongy body. They can really fit into anything.
Yeah. Correct shape for it as well. Anyway.
In a lot of never mind.
We learned, if I remember well, the Bloodsongs, their end goal. First of all, they're not allied with the orcs. They've got nothing. They haven't got anything to do with the orcs. They're not orchestrating this. Orchestrating. Oh, I've already made that pun, and it went that bad.
Orchestrating.
Anyway, they're not with the orcs. Orcs are they're one of their problem, like it is all of ours. Their end goal, they intend to oust Fenrir and Bolden's family from command, and when they go back to Silverleaf, if that's the name of the place, they intend to usurp. They intend to ruin Fenrir's reputation, usurp the Silverleaf clan, and put a Bloodsong on the throne, I guess. And Fenrir, they said Fenrir is obsessed with the shard. That is our business. So he's a big fat liar.
The shard that they said they don't know anything about.
Yes. The shard that 100% exists. and he is apparently obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So that's an angle we can go on. And was there anything? They did mention something about Kyla. What was about Kyla?
I came in like kind of late into that bit of it, but it was something about that he wasn't getting. Hans was upset at Michael because he wasn't getting into line, whatever that means. That he's apparently, I guess he's being kind of a problem child, essentially. But in what way and in what context, I have no idea. I came in late.
But Michael did seem concerned over the child's safety.
Mm-hmm.
Said he would sort of sort him out under the, or Hans will do some threatening behaviors.
Yeah, I'm afraid of tarnishing the Bloodsong name, apparently.
Yes. So, yeah, Kyla's apparently doing some. Also, they don't know what Kyla's been up to. Well, they do know what Kyla's been up to, and it's apparently sullying. But I don't know if they wouldn't be telling him to do this thing if they knew it was going to ruin their reputation and was a risk. So I feel like there's another part.
Does it mean he's being evil and trying to poison us, and that's what they don't want, or he's resisting doing stuff like poisoning us, and that's what they don't want?
Well,
I think is what we have to get.
If they are aware of his poisoning, they're either disappointed with his efforts, or due to the sloppiness of the nature. But yeah, no, I'm gonna make a guess of this. Yeah, they didn't. I'm gonna say they are aware of it, but they're not in. They didn't orchestrate it.
That sounds
right.
Plausible.
The way, yeah,
That is
the way it came off was
the way it phrased.
Yeah, the way it came out was like that he pretty much did, like it was like his idea or something to do it.
Yeah. Their main goal is.
I was saying when she spoke to Michael, it seems that to me anyway. I mean, I wasn't there, but that he would have known about it, but maybe was trying to cover it up because he didn't want his reputation to be ruined. He didn't want any accused throwing fingers under them.
Like in a way, he like jumped the gun, is what it seemed like. Where
you with that. I didn't want everybody knowing what I was up to.
Well, why not?
Silverleaf.
Oh my god!
La 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 la.
Where do you think I spoke to you privately?
Yes. Shimmer told me this personal secret earlier. Did you know?
It's not a personal secret. It's just you speaking to someone.
Yeah, and I didn't want to tell everybody where I was going earlier. Now you just blabbed it everywhere. What kind of fucking rogue are you? No wonder you nearly got caught.
Someone
damn.
I don't really think we should be keeping too many secrets from one another.
Well, that's your opinion. Don't worry. There'll be plenty kept from you from now on.
Are y'all ever happy? Like,
whoa!
I just have to say it. I don't know if Lexi was thinking the same thing. Is like,
Yeah.
where's the good times? All I see is the bad times.
Where's the good times?
Where's the good times?
Jacob
Where are they
doesn't want to
gone?
be the good times, so
It's true. When we were gone, y'all could have just faded to black or something, or I don't know.
no. Why would we do that? There's just no point.
There's no point. You're right. But so now we know your secret. It wasn't that much of a secret,
Yeah.
though, but I sorry for listening to it.
I should have stopped my ears upon his opening his mouth. I apologize for accidentally listening to something talked at me.
you're just one giant ear. You can't help it.
Oh no, if I could plug them, I would, but that would have to be like, I'd have to be vacuum sealed in something.
But yeah, Bloodsongs are doing Bloodsong things, trying to like take advantage of the situation.
Yeah, their end goal is to
Applicable.
ruin Fenrir's reputation as the elder. Somehow usurp. I think it was. You are related to the druid, like your aunt. Is it your aunt or something?
Yeah, the Archdruid is my aunt. Her name is Delindra.
Delindra. They want one of the
Delindra.
Bloodsongs on her throne, but in order to sully the reputation of Fenrir.
Mm-hmm. And
I guess shame her family off the throne so they can then usurp.
yeah, he wanted to I suppose like get Delindra on his side, like against Fenrir or something like that.
No, I thought he was trying to sort of say your elder has done all this horrible things. I guess we need to find what dirt they have on Fenrir. If they have, I don't know, lineage shaming dirt on him, and he is somehow, has an obsession with the shard, which basically probably can confirm it's the thing we're looking for.
It's worth mentioning two things at this point that Baldwin would know. The first is that Hans, while a prominent figure in the council leadership, is nowhere near at the status of Fenrir. Definitely sits below him in status. The other thing is, just to clarify the overheard conversation, it was very specifically about removing Fenrir, not necessarily the
I just want
the entire family.
more influence, not okay.
Yeah, they gotta start small first. So yeah, they had said they want to like to I guess I get get put like in a position of leadership to prove that Bloodsongs are probably like a better fit to rule overall in the long term. Like after all this mess is over, you know, put like honor on their name, some rep. So
Yeah.
so that's how evil it can be. Just taking advantage of the situation and trying to get ahead on the power struggle.
I'm curious what dirt they have on Fenrir.
Did they have any dirt?
Well, they said they're going to they plan on selling his reputations. They either know something about him or are fabricating something about him.
Oh, I thought it was just like just how maybe he's running the place kind of poorly, so they kind of want to use that to kind of convince the people here to be like, hey, like step down, let Hans run the show. I thought that's like that it's like that was going on. I know he had dirt. I don't know if I don't remember him saying that. Did he say that? I don't remember.
We know he wants to hide his dealings with the shard because he lied to our face saying he doesn't know what it is. And if we are to believe, I doubt they would lie to each other and they didn't know you were there. So he definitely has something to do with the shard, which he doesn't want anyone else knowing. So he has some secret.
They didn't mention specifically in the conversation that you overheard about any, as you put it, dirt on him per se. It was more around, as you said, specifically what they were talking about in that moment was, putting forward their opinion on his leadership in the current dire circumstances has been less than fit for the job, essentially. And to leverage that to give them a more powerful position politically.
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of taking advantage of the situation, how things are.
I mean, that doesn't seem that
pretty bad.
kind of big.
Wait, who?
Venry.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
He's just kind of a dick. That's my grandpa. He's an ass, but he's family.
That again.
Unlike the blood songs,
You've made that
they're
clear.
just pure evil. Yeah.
Perspectives. With this information, could we glean a thing to do? Other than, I guess espionage on Fenrir, really? Because if we find the shard, and then we can just. And it is here. He isn't leaving, and the shard's in the camp.
Wait. Somebody mentioned the shard. I must have missed that.
Yeah, they did when you were in Ratbomb listening in. They said Fenrir has an obsession with this shard, which I have taken to assume is the missing piece of an obelisk.
Oh, it has to be. Yeah, I must have missed that when I was telling you about it somehow.
Yeah. That's why I asked if you told me this on the way here.
Yeah, I know. It's a good thing I did then. But yeah, okay, yeah. He's obviously lying. We can confront him about it. Or wait.
Or we could tell your mother about this because she seems to be in.
To be clear, the words that were
Seems to
used
at least know.
is that once they were back on familiar ground, i.e. Silverleaf, they intend to expose Fenrir's failures, his inability to prevent the ongoing attacks on this particular camp, and his obsession with the the shard.
Shattered up.
And that it all speaks to his weakness.
Okay.
We could take this to my mother, but like, what would we tell her? Like,
Your grandfather is doing a shit job, and they plan on shouting that to the rest of the world in order
Plus-
to demote him. And I don't know, and that's not a thing you want because you hate them. That's not really my whole jig, but something you'd rather not have a blood song in his position.
right. I mean, we can definitely tell them that about the conspiracy that's going on.
Yeah.
That could definitely work. But
Or we could use this as a
We'll
way
come of
to
it.
get out. Because we now know this about him. We could have this a way of saying, there's a rumor going around that this group of people are planning on revealing your failures to the rest of the Grove once you all reunite at Silverleaf. But if you hire us to go deal with these orcs, then we can redeem your name by defending this camp. And then you can owe us about this shard we definitely know about.
I see what you're getting at. I can see. Like, we can tell them that they're trying to leverage like the situation against a grandfather, and the way we can like prove that he actually is a stable leader and he knows what he's doing and he's capable. We take care of the orc problem.
Yeah.
And then in return we get the shard or something.
Yeah.
And he gets to stay in power or whatever he wants, because
Yes.
that's how he
Your
is, power
family,
hungry.
keep your reputation. We get to at least know about more about this shard.
It's a good plan. Yeah, it's pretty sound.
And that is my entire forte. I am the plan man.
Yep. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I'm convinced.
All in favour, say aye. Well, I guess no one. I'll be going then.
Well,
It's your family, Baldwin. You deal with this how you see fit.
I'm
Not sure
open
it's a
to
good idea,
input.
honestly, to lay our cards on the table like this, but it's not for me to comment on the politics of your circle.
My grandpa loves nothing more than being in a position of power like this. So maybe we'll be using our putting our cards on the table per se, but it will definitely work. He will not if it's like a rule to power, I guess, right? Like his position is like in trouble, he's definitely will do anything to try to like solidify his like claim, I guess, to that position. So I feel like it's a pretty good idea. I can't think of anything else.
Well, the blood songs
we-
seem pretty manipulative, and they, from what we've seen, would appear to have your grandfather's ear. I mean, I can't imagine that he would take kindly to you snooping around, spying on other members of the camp. It could easily get twisted against us.
It could, but even though he does have his ear, like, doesn't change the fact that regardless of how I got their information, they still want to like overthrow him. Essentially, they still want to
Well, it
like.
depends on how much he believes you.
Well, he does. He has had history with them. He hasn't always been their best mate.
They just for now, I guess they're just putting up with each other for the circumstances. I'm sure my grandfather's only doing it so that way the people doesn't seem like he's being very too aggressive or too forceful with his powers. Since at this case, he can probably just banish him if he wanted to, but it'd probably look poorly if he did that. People wouldn't respect him at that point. So I'm sure that's why he's not outright just being an asshole to him as he usually is. Now it makes sense.
What do you think, Laborin?
I think, like you said, I don't think it's very wise to just go and tell people what we've been doing and stuff. I mean, there's no guarantee that whatever we say will be believed, so what's the point? We just come out and say, yeah, we've been spying on the people that you're busy mates with at the moment, even if they've had a history. They're obviously very happy sort of working together or getting along or whatever, so we turn around and go, oh yeah, these people that you've been working with, trying to overthrow you, and they already distrust us and don't like us because we showed up and killed some orcs, which makes perfect sense. They're just gonna then flip it back on us and go, oh, you're stirring shit again. So unless we have any concrete proof as like, here's the murder weapon, so to speak, I don't think just blurting out what we've been doing is really going to get us anywhere.
But the question is, what will get us anywhere?
I mean, we're still waiting on
like
your mother. He might be able to get us out early.
Good.
Yeah, we get that.
Didn't you say it was a few days?
Like that? Like if they've been working with someone or whatever, like say for example, poisoning us, we might find poison in their tent, or we might find a letter writing to someone evil saying we've been doing this. I'm not saying any of those will happen, but there's always evidences would be the key.
Did you? I don't think you saw anything particularly incriminating in the tent, did you, Baldwin?
Did
There
I?
was no like hit list hung up to dry.
We had those leaves, right, that my mother gave me that could identify the same mushroom that was used.
Yeah, you do have those. You didn't have a look around for anything incriminating.
Yeah, I didn't.
Unfortunately.
Do
I can always go back.
Sneaking, Laborin?
I can do. It's a bit difficult in this camp because there's a lot of prying guys and we're sort of out in the open. And there's not many places to hide in a tent.
She can turn you invisible, can't she?
Who's she? The cat's mother? Yes, I can. If you want me to, Laborin.
Yeah, if you, I'm happy with it.
What is your plan, useless fucks?
I mean, I can give you, in addition to the invisibility, I could give you my Violet Ward as well, so that you can't be targeted by divination magic or perceived through magical scrying, just to be doubly safe.
Yeah, I mean, if you're happy using your resources like that, I'm happy to use them.
Yeah, go do what you do best.
Oh,
I
and
mean,
don't forget the leaves.
where is this
Yeah,
tent?
do you know what you're
Like,
looking for?
It is here,
not
and I will
exactly.
tell him where it is.
Yeah, easily
Like,
easily
I was just
described.
saying,
And the leaves that Tabitha left are somewhere in the tent. You can easily find them.
Just saying, like, invisibility lasts for like an hour, and I don't know how long this other spell lasts. So, how close are we?
It's an hour
you
as well.
Right, so I've
Oh,
got an hour.
it's like 5 minutes away. It's not far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the whole place is like 10 minutes across or something like that. No.
It's not long. It's not far at all.
Okay. Yeah, well, if you want to cast them, I'll run off. Unless you want to put some more sort of things in place. I don't know. So, I suppose if I get caught, I'll just shout for help.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, if any of us go with you, that's that's the end of that.
Mm.
I will speed over on Junior, your aid.
Unless
Fine.
unless Baldwin wild shapes again and goes with you incognito, like just follows you, and then if you need backup, you've got someone there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you could, either follow me into tent, or you could even just sit, just within earshot, just in case anything goes down.
Yeah, I mean, I can be your lookout. I'm together to like look it over quicker, or I can be a lookout for you. It's up to you. Follow your lead.
It depends whether the tent's actually got people in it or not by the time we get there. If it's empty, a lookout would probably be more useful, I think. But
Willow,
if it's already got people in, then
Willow will offer to keep watch outside the tent, and if, assuming there's nobody in there when you make your way there, if people are making their way back, she can cast sending to one of you to alert you that somebody's coming.
yeah, I'm good with that.
Oh.
As long as
Yeah.
Willow doesn't
Good
look
idea.
suspicious standing in the area.
Mm.
I suppose not. If
She's
it's just
probably
a
the
general
least
stop.
suspicious of all of us.
She's probably the
Yeah.
only person who fits, other than Baldwin, who fits in with the rest of the
Okay.
druids
Right.
here. There's quite a few halflings walking around, so yeah, she's probably
Yeah.
more incognito.
Just darker
And
than
I will
most.
I will stand with Willow.
Comparatively to the fucking 6'5" armored glob of jelly, she's
Mhm.
relative to that, she's invisible.
So, okay, so I guess it's probably best you stay in the tent, Lexi.
But I want to
Yeah.
do the cool adventure.
Well, maybe you could just be like nearby. You can be ready to hop on your horse and come along if you need it.
Fine.
Where would you like to be, Shimmer?
It's probably best I stay here for the time being.
Yay.
Okay, well, you can ride on the horse with Lexi then if we need you.
Sure.
I want to see how much stuff we can balance on his back.
Buckaroo. You're gonna play Buckaroo with Junior.
Yeah, I do.
All right. Is that your plan?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
That's the plan.
All right. Casting it on him here, wild shaping here, and then making your way.
Yeah.
All right.
Being as invisibility is a touch spell, I'll just give Laborin a hug and say, "Please be careful. I love you." And then we go.
You just say, what was the exact word you said there? You said, "I'm always careful." You just repeat that back to you, and say, "Love you too," and then disappear.
Laborin disappears. RJ, you going? Baldwin, you going back into the rat?
Yeah, I'll go right again.
Okay. another wild shape usage. Prismatic ward goes on as well. You can't see it, but there would otherwise be a small aura of purplish energy around Laborin. Willow unsurreptitiously walks out of the tent and starts following the rat, and Laborin follows in as well. Cool. So you make your way across the camp. How close to the tent do you want to get before you stop?
I don't know in exact terms. I suppose just get nearby for a second and just see. Do we see anyone inside or something?
Like from 60 feet, I guess, to see.
Yeah, so
Like,
you
I don't
can
know what
see
I
the
think our range
outside of
is.
the tent. So from 60 feet, you can see the outside of the tent, but there's no way to tell whether there's anybody in it from there.
I mean, I can go check it out real quick if you want. I can come back.
Is the tent open, like, or is the if you know what I mean?
Flaps are closed shut at the moment.
Yeah, I guess maybe you could.
It'd be very
run
quick.
over and see if there's anyone in there or not. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I run over just to take a quick peek.
Okay. You poke your head under very quickly, and there's nobody in there currently.
Okay, I scurry back and let them know there's no one in there.
Okay, I guess I'll try as stealthy as possible then to go into the tent without trying to alert people to the fact that there's a fucking tent open randomly.
Make a stealth check, but with advantage for me.
Okay.
The wind.
Willow will walk
the
up to
wind.
like within 30 feet of the tent so she can see up and down the walkways. Just kind of positions herself as incognito as possible. 27. You kind of you manage to get up to the flaps in the tent. They're not sealed shut, and you just manage to slide yourself in sideways where they barely move. Yeah, you manage to get inside. Baldwin kind of scurries in underneath. So yeah, you're both within this bell tent. Willow on the outside acting as a lookout. The tent, as I said before, is almost identical to yours. There's a few kind of more personal differences in some of the items and the bedding and things like that here, but otherwise a lot of it is very similar. What are you looking for?
Just have a investigation around, try and look, so any evidence of poison work or any, very conveniently written letters saying I am an evil person, things of that sort of
Oh
nature.
yeah, it's spray painted on the wall on the inside. I am
I'd like
evil.
I'd like
Yeah.
a confession written in his hand.
We already know they're evil.
Signature.
We already know.
Yeah, just suspicious sort of things,
Yeah.
like things that don't seem like it's just normal for them to have in the
And a
tent.
voice recording of just him saying, "Oh, I did it was me."
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
today's newspaper.
So
Yes. Incriminating evidence.
all right, cool. So either make an investigation check for me individually, or one of you with advantage. Up to you.
I
Go
have
for
a
the warrant.
plus 17. So do you want me to
Yeah,
do it
go.
at once?
Plus 17.
Plus
Plus
17.
Plus 7.
Seven.
My pass was 17, so I was reading the wrong column.
I was like,
I was like,
huh?
no way. I was like 7. Yeah, not 17.
26 though is fucking great. Cool. So you kind of there's a few things that you look at. So the beds are kind of they're very shallow, almost divan wooden beds. But there is a small gap underneath them, and you have a look under some of those and don't find much. Baldwin's kind of scurrying around in the nooks and crannies and looking for stuff. There is a desk that appears to have a lantern and a stack of papers on it. Go up to the desk and kind of rifle through the drawers a little bit as quietly as possible. Actually, make a stealth check for me, in particular, Laboran.
Is this with advantage still?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, so you managed to kind of quietly open these drawers and making sure that nobody's hearing anything. Having a flick through a lot of the information and the documentation here, a lot of it appears to be things like daily logs of activity and movements of supplies in and out of the camp. the work of somebody who appears to be administrating a lot of this kind of stuff. There's nothing in any of the notes or the documentation that you find that links any of the things that the conspiracies that you're concerned about in any of that. You don't find any tools or implements that would suggest poisoning. There's a few vials of things in one of the chests at the foot of the bed. There's like a dark reddish liquid in about a stack of 5 or 6 vials that are corked. Yeah, that is something you do find with a 27. Sorry, with a 27.
So I don't know what these vials are just instantly by looking at them.
Not just by looking at them. I mean,
Does it look like porridge?
No. Feel free to make a medicine check for me. See if you can tell what it is just by looking at it.
He brought the leaf with him, right? So couldn't you?
Yeah, I
You
just
did.
was wondering whether I could look at it and just go, "Oh, I know what this is straight away." You know what I mean? That was all sort of was thinking.
17. These from just looking at them from the outside and giving them a quick swill around, they are very reminiscent of. They look like a very homebrewed equivalent of a potion of healing, from what you can tell.
Suspicious of it being.
Yeah, it looks like
So
a
just
healing
the-
potion.
And they all. How many did you say? How many vials did you say there was?
There's 6 of them.
6, and they all look like exactly the same.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll take one and just pour a little bit on a leaf. Just see what happens.
Yeah, so the liquid drops onto the leaf and then just kind of slides off it, and the leaf doesn't change color in any way.
Okay.
It's clean.
I'm gonna have Willow roll a perception check. Alrighty.
All right. I guess they're just healing potions. Probably just best to leave them rather than raise suspicion.
Good idea.
The other thing about this tent is it's very different to yours. Is that scattered around the floor, around the sides of the bottom of the table, are kind of very small wooden toys, little figurines and that kind of thing.
Bedrolls.
They're very obvious that they are just toys. They don't seem like they're in a sort of, I don't know, runic symbol thing or anything like that.
Make a perception check for me.
Perception.
Yeah, they're arranged in the symbol of Vecna.
Yeah.
Pentagram.
Pentagram.
Yeah. No, there doesn't appear to be any recognizable pattern about how they're scattered across the floor. A kid has just left some toys on the floor.
Yeah, just double check. It wasn't gonna,
Any
like,
particular like animals?
With hard drugs.
What do you mean?
Like, is there are there like toys like the shape of animals or anything like that, or?
Yeah. So some of the figurines, there's like a few bears, a couple of wolves. One of the wolves, in particular, actually, I'm still going off that previous investigation check, Laboran. One of the wooden wolves is, it's hard to tell the scale compared to some of the other figurines, but if you were to judge scale, you'd say it was quite a bit larger than some of the, in terms of scale, than it would be for a normal wolf size. And it's a very interesting wolf, because you've seen a lot of wolves and dire wolves in your past, and they tend to be very clean looking and very well shaped, but this creature has particularly long claws on it and quite like deeper fangs that seem to protrude over the maw. The eyes are also painted red.
Hmm. Yeah, I was trying to figure out to see if maybe there are any animals that he prefers to turn into that we can keep an eye out for. But we know Bunny's one, but that's what I was trying to see. But interesting. Yeah, just toys. Anything else of note that I'm assuming with that investigation check, like that's like we pretty much like did a good look.
You've done a pretty thorough search. I mean, 26 investigations, pretty damn high. So you get a good sense that you're not finding anything here that would incriminate them in the way of the things that you've been worried about.
Okay.
The only other thing I can think of is to not go back to the original plan that messed up, so to speak, but to do something in the way of like following the child if we do spot them going anywhere. Like that's the only other thing I can think of left to do in terms of finding something. But obviously we can't do that right now.
Well, have a think about it because we'll take a break and we'll return shortly.
All right. See you in a sec.
bring us back. Pip has decided to play. Yay.
Yeah,
Let's go.
All right.
Woohoo.
So,
Fight to the pain.
you guys have you still in this tent? Are you intending to stay there? Are you leaving? What's your plan?
It's like, hey, let's get out of here, boss. I think we're done
there's
here.
Nothing else
Why is
left to do in here.
Why is that your rat voice?
So,
I don't know. As I think I'm like a little like mafioso, you know, a little Italian.
Oh yeah.
I think that's
Yeah, so
I can see it.
like, come on, boss. We gotta get out of here before they come in. You'll find us here.
Let's get out.
Yeah, let's skedaddle.
Just to give you a heads up, it is now early afternoon.
Let's be in a bit.
Jacob's lagging out hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just Jacob.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, just
Are
him.
we back?
You are.
It's just
here?
Are you back?
are.
Okay.
Only you left.
Yeah.
I guess we, unless you want to do something different, but I guess we just go back to our tent and figure out what the fuck to do next.
Yeah. I kind of like, I guess either bump into Willow or Laborin does and kind of lets her know, okay, let's get out of here.
So you guys make your way back to your tent. You are all now collectively there. If you wanna, so you can drop the invisibility on yourself, Laborin, if you want to do that. That is not by having it cast on you. You can drop it.
So I'm just stand around invisible for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been like 20 minutes. You got another 40 minutes of being invisible.
Well, I could always drop it.
You could
I
always
have to
drop it too.
concentrate on it.
Mm-hmm.
Dun dun dun.
Don't tell him you dropped it. Just have him thinking he's invisible when he's not.
Yeah. He's like, he's here.
I mean,
You just need
I know
imprint.
I mean, I'm assuming
that-
when you're invisible, you can see yourself. Like, you can see your hand in front of your face when you're
I don't
affected.
think you would.
That's a
I
good
think
question.
It'd just be blank. That's what I assumed it'd be.
Okay.
I feel like you just know it's in front of you. Just by having it in front of you, like, oh, I know my arm's in front of me.
Yeah, you can feel yourself, obviously, but like, I don't think you'd be able to see your hands or whatever.
That
Why
would
not?
I fuck with my depth perception.
Wait, how do you
Yeah.
see?
I
Because
demand
aren't your
you don't
eyes
know.
invisible?
I demand you don't know where you put your foot, so you're more likely to trip over.
Yeah, I imagine that
think you
it's like
can.
you can see yourself.
I
but
would think
other people
so.
Can't. Like similar to when in the Harry Potter films when he's wearing the invisibility cloak and he can see himself under the cloak, but nobody can see him.
Maybe it's kind of like, I don't know, like this sort of. I can't remember what game or show it's from or something, but you get into like, it's like being in, I guess, like another dimension sort of thing, where it's all like sort of a bit shadowy around you and stuff like that. So you know you're invisible, but like you can still see yourself. I don't know.
All right, what are you doing now? You're back at the tent.
I take a short rest
I watch
because I have no watch. Yes. I'm just gonna kick my feet up on the like coffee table or whatever. I'm just kind of like just chilling, straight chilling, chill guy.
Yeah.
Getting his wild shapes back. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much we can do immediately because we still don't know the full picture. I mean, I vote we just after Bolden's.
Well, I mean, I guess I was just there. I'm just gonna just say, well, we didn't find anything. We found some homebrewed healing potions, but that's about it.
Hey, you seem pretty
Well-
interested in that wolf toy. I don't know, did that mean anything to you, Baldwin?
It just looked familiar. It's weird. I haven't seen like a wolf like that in a long time. It's been a minute.
Long. Right. Why is it a special wolf or something?
I think so. It has to be. Otherwise, why would it be there? Right? I'm not sure.
Interesting.
It is weird that I had red eyes, though.
Is that have you seen a wolf with red eyes before?
Yeah, a long time ago.
I'm not really too familiar with nature. What was so? Why is that a big deal?
Well, it wasn't too big of a deal. Just a weird, really big wolf. I've seen some. Well, you've seen dire wolves. I've become a dire wolf before, but this one was especially big, and I've vaguely remember it from my past. Just can't recall it from where.
Okay. Maybe that's something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, it could be important, especially since very different from the other animals. It was good, like craftsmanship. I wonder who made it. Michael's always been good with his hands.
Yeah, maybe carve them for the boy.
Kyler.
That's it.
I just remembered something from the previous conversation about us overhearing those. Apparently, Xander is close to knowing too much, and if he reveals things he knows, they plan on removing him. So but he's off on his expedition. We don't know when will be returning.
Yeah, so I guess it kind of disproves like Xander being involved with them in any way. So, but maybe they're using him to some end, or maybe he's getting too close. He's getting too curious. That is actually what they said. He's too curious.
That is the correct word.
Right.
You told me. They said.
I said it. That's what I told you, and that's why I'm saying it right now. Because I know.
And I was assisting the elderly. That is what you said.
Yes. So that exonerates, I guess, somewhat. I never thought it was Ender. He's love the guy. He's cool. I known him my whole life. But yeah,
he seemed like a fine chap with a penchant for scaring the shit out of me.
With poppers. Yeah.
Yeah.
He likes doing pranks like that. But I mean, what do we have? Let's evaluate what we have so far. We have no hard proof except for the poison itself. We have a way to verify it if we do come across it. We didn't find nothing with the blood songs.
I mean, we can probably infer that they have access to an alchemist of some kind. They know how to brew some things. But that's hardly proof.
I guess that is true. That does kind of like prove that they are capable of making brews.
In a druid grove. Correct me if I'm wrong, but usually, brewing homemade potions from local foliage and fauna would not be considered rare.
Correct. This one was right. I believe my mother said it was like it wasn't near this mountain.
Yeah, she identified it as not being local. But to answer your question, Lexi, the art of making potions from nature is not uncommon amongst druids.
Yes. So it's not local. So the one. So who are the people who are traveling out of the grove? Xandar for one of them. I think Michael's been doing it. Everyone else has been staying. Well, not the grove. Sorry, this camp. Everyone else has been staying put, as far as I'm aware. So maybe unless there's others, which case it'd be nice to get a list or whatever. But if it's not from this local area, then it has to be from someone who is leaving the area and bringing it back, surely.
Did one of you mention, okay, above the table, did either of you mention that in the Buzzsong's tent there was a record of shipments?
A coming of going of supplies, yeah.
Coming of going of supplies. So they're at least involved. They're at least involved in that. But if they're so they're definitely one of the people leaving and coming back with these supplies.
Yeah,
It seems like they're in charge of it. Like,
They
I'm sending
have-
Xander on these expeditions and stuff.
They at least have a supervisory role
Mhm.
on the coming going of trade and communication.
I think Hans is specifically supervising, sending Michael and Xander and maybe other people.
On the letters, Jack, did it say sort of how often they're coming in or when the next sort of shipment might be?
Yeah, so you would have remembered from what you scrolled, like what you went through, like at most large supplies that are retrieved back from Silverleaf or moved between the camps that are known. It's at best like 3-4 days at a time.
So we don't have to wait too long in that sense. So I don't know, maybe we should have a look at the next one that comes in and see who's bringing it in, what goods are brought in, where they've been to get the supplies. I don't know, something along those lines. Follow them, follow the supply where the if we see them leave or whatever.
Could do that. I mean, we can also ask if we find Kyler. I guess we can ask him, because if anyone's gonna know, it's gonna be him. At least either he got it himself, or somebody gave it to him, and can probably get the information from him.
If we want to speak to us.
The chances of him being left unsupervised long enough for us to talk to him is slim to none at this point.
It's at this point
Yeah,
you realise that Willow sounds more undead than she ever has before.
I was like, oh no, is she decaying? Like right before us.
My voice box is starting to decay.
Yeah.
Oh no.
The lungs are the first to go.
Feel free to take a short rest, everybody, if you would like to. There's an option.
I don't think I've done anything that deserves a short rest.
Neither. That's why I've just said I will watch Baldwin short rest.
Yeah, just me.
But an hour or so passes, and then there is a woman's voice from outside of the tent. Permission to come in? You recognize,
Come right in.
You recognize the voice immediately as your mother, Baldwin.
Mommy!
Junior, get out of the way.
She kind of like walks in and she's got a tray of goods and snacks and treats and nice drinks and things like that you would expect her to not turn up empty-handed anyway, so that's not surprising. She walks in and leading behind her is Bartholomew.
Ah, Father, how are you?
I'm well. Yourself?
Good. Staying out of trouble.
That's what I like to hear. Your mother then turns to you. You all doing okay? Keeping your heads down, of course.
Yes. The best we can, Mother.
Good. Hushed voices, if we can. We have, between your father and I, come up with a way that we might be able to extract you from the camp. It's not particularly intricate or clever, but it does carry some risks, particularly for your father here. So if we're to do this,
Okay.
you have to make some promises.
Absolutely.
Your father can get you out. However, this will likely be noticed at some point. And we expect that your father will come under some scrutiny. The plan is to use magic to conceal your identities in a way that you're familiar with, my boy. You will wild shape yourself into something small, a mouse or something similar. Your father and I, and others if we need to, will use a polymorph spell to do the same to the rest of you. Your father will then take you through the gate, using his authority with the guards to persuade them to allow him to leave. He will take you to the woods, a short way out of the camp, and drop you off. We'll get away with this at some point during the day or night. However, once this activity is recorded, it will be questioned as to why he left without permission. Fenrir will undoubtedly quiz him on this, and that will be problematic until you return. You will need to return. But you will need to return having defeated, expelled this orc threat. It's the only way to make the play that your father makes here worthwhile. Once we're back at Silverleaf, Thalindra will most certainly see an issue with this. It's a troublesome and risky plan, my boy. And you must absolutely succeed.
Of course, Father. You can trust me. I appreciate the sacrifice you're going to make, and we won't let you down.
Not. The orcs must be operating out of somewhere nearby. The frequency of their attacks and how well armed and supplied they must be means that they can't be far, at least the group that are attacking us. As for the other camps, we don't know, but at least maybe we can gather some information and you can go from there. But we must eliminate the threat before we can return to Silverleaf and exonerate myself from this play. Do you have the means by which to cast this spell? There is 5 of you. We can do 2. Baldwin, you can wild shape yourself.
Someone knows invisibility. I don't know if that would be good enough. I know polymorph myself as well. I haven't gone that strong.
Well done, my boy. In which
Thank
case, that's 1 wild shape, 3 polymorphs, and invisibility should probably be enough to get us through the gate. The timing will be critical, so I can't tell you when we'll be able to do this. So you must be ready.
Okay. We'll be ready.
Ready at a moment's notice.
Absolutely, we'll be here.
Very good. I will make the arrangements on my side. Your mother and I will return once we're ready to go. In the meantime, we will leave you be.
Okay. And again, thank you, Father.
Not a problem. Did you have any questions?
I'm good. I don't know if my companions have any questions.
I mean, should we make this is sort of I guess I'll sort of grab group huddle and just say, should we let them know of in our knowledge of, I don't know, the squabbling?
I trust my parents, but it's a group decision. I'll leave it to you guys.
That's not the group. You're also part of this group. I want your opinion.
Well, I'm biased, so yes, of course, I will want to tell them, but this is a group decision.
I don't think we should. We don't know who's who knows what and what who's been lying to us. What their reaction will be. We need to know more.
I mean, I guess if I leave Junior here, they probably wouldn't expect us to leave without my horse. And if you just see his arse sticking out the tent, they probably assume we're in there.
To buy some time.
You never know. He doesn't need to eat food, and he can make conversation because he can speak languages.
Does he just exist till he dies? Does he? Doesn't like.
Yeah. There is no concentration. There is no distance. That's why he was just outside, when we were in the castle where I nearly died in the basement. He was just waiting outside the entire time.
Alright, fair enough then. We can leave him here if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. So these guys are just kind of stood around waiting for you. Unless you've got anything, they're gonna leave.
No questions. Thank you for this opportunity. We're quite efficient at our jobs.
Yes.
We're putting a lot of faith in you, sir. For the sake of the Grove and for the sake of Baldwin's father, so please.
Yes, you won't regret it.
Okay.
On my oath, you'll be home sooner rather than later.
In that case, get some rest. Sit tight. Be ready to leave at a moment's notice.
We'll be here.
Yeah.
Okay. They turn and swiftly leave.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what's the plan is I wild shape. You have 2 polymorphs. And then there's 2 other people.
You can also
polymorph someone else.
Then wild shape.
So then that leaves 1 person that can maybe be turned invisible by
Yeah. Baldwin's covered. If I get polymorphed, I'm covered. If Willow gets polymorphed, she's covered. If Laboran gets invisibled, and then Shimmer can get polymorphed by you.
I'll just invis myself. I don't even know if I can concentrate on it once I'm polymorph.
I was gonna say that because she doesn't keep her mental stats. She assumes like
She can go invisible.
She can still
no, I'll
concentrate
touch
on
myself. It's fine.
Yeah, she can. But
or you can do it on yourself.
She's broken. And then
I will
Baldwin
touch myself. I'm quite happy.
Yeah, I figured.
Then Baldwin can
I do feel like, we would benefit from having at least a spellcaster also invised.
Yeah, that's.
So I think if Shimmer can invis herself, that might be a better option than polymorphing.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
we just said that. Okay, so yeah, we're in agreement. So Shimmer will invis herself, and everyone else gets polymorphed.
Yeah.
And I wild shape. All right, cool. 1, 2, 3. Go.
Oh, they're not here yet.
Time lapse.
So it's mid to late afternoon at this point. What do you guys want to do? Anything you want to do in particular, or are you looking now to just kill the time?
The past forever, I've been without a bag. Ever since being bashed in the face by a bugbear, I have been bagless.
Yeah.
While lawful gooding earlier, did I happen to see a bag stand?
Still feeling the effect.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Have little bags on. They were all over the place.
That's the one market stall that they have in this encampment. Bags, get your bags.
Get your bags.
2 for 1,
Store
2 for 1
all your nothing
sale.
else in, because there's no other shops. Is it perception
Yeah,
or like history? Perception.
Yeah, go for history. Let's do a history check. See if you remember.
Thank you. I'm better at those.
do you know what a bag is? Let's see.
He is
No.
a bag. He's just a wet bag. No.
And I don't. Yeah. No.
You've not seen anybody selling bags. You've not seen anybody making
I haven't.
bags. In fact, you don't recall anybody wearing a backpack. In fact, what is a backpack?
Yeah. You should really get backpacks in this realm. There were tons in the astral plane. You really need to. They really need to start inventing those here.
Lexi, we are all wearing backpacks.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
we're all
where
wearing
did those
backpacks.
come from? Whoa! How have I not seen those since till now?
They're probably made of goop where you come from. These are made of leather.
Not everything's made of goo. Ours were
Not everything.
made of space stuff. No, not astral stuff. You don't really get
Space
cows
dust.
in the astral plane, so I don't know what our fabrics would be.
Yeah,
Mainly wool from astral sheep.
there you go.
What is an astral sheep?
It's an astral sheep, Jacob. This is a sheep of the astral variety.
Enough said.
I thought that was quite
I'm
descriptive.
genuinely asking Lexi, what the fuck is it? It's an astral sheep.
Well, it is this sort of biped herbivore with thick woolen coat, usually different coloured fur on the face and legs.
So it's just a sheep.
I did say bipedal, so it has 2 legs.
Right, okay.
I made that mistake, but now it's canon.
Oh, so it's on 2 legs? No.
2 legs. Stands up. Really meaty arms.
I don't want a picture of bike.
You got to sneak up one from the. You got to sneak up on one from behind because they've got quite a good swing on them.
Oh no. They're
Hold
like
it down.
kangaroos.
Yeah, wrap round with your astral shields.
With your...
Are they marsupials? They have little
Yeah.
pouches for with little. babies.
When my uncle wasn't, being an author, he was an astral shepherd on the side.
When was your uncle an author?
Yeah, no, my uncle wrote that romantic novel from.
Is that the same uncle that Silence is his name?
That is, I just
Different
said his name. That's what that's what the gap was. My
Oh,
uncle.
the pause. Oh, okay.
That's his name. It doesn't translate, so I have to.
Yeah.
Just staying.
I thought
still.
dramatic pause. Yeah, I thought dramatic pause. I didn't know that was the name. That's my bad.
Oh, I remember your uncle now.
Yeah, my uncle.
Everyone's always shouting at him.
Yeah, he got very confused. Well, everyone's always moving. All plasmoids are constantly moving the astral plane, so he knows when someone's talking to him.
Oh, true. That's true. You're just undulating the whole time until like you want to talk to someone wants to talk to your uncle. They kind of just stop moving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Discos in the astral plane get very confusing.
What happens when they what's that game that you play when you have to you play the music, like kids parties where you play the music and then you have to stop statue? What does he do then?
Music.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
god, he just looks up and say, "Huh? What? Huh?" He thinks it's his party.
Right. So what do you want to do, guys? You killing time? You couldn't find any bags, unfortunately, Lexi, but
Darn. I'll nick one off an orc when we find it.
alright. Maybe they'll have one. Anything anybody wants to do in particular?
I'm chilling.
We could get our bedrolls and stuff them with pillows or something, saying we've fallen into a really deep nap, like a 5-day long nap.
5-day long
I don't know how long.
nap.
I don't know how long they'll take on this orc thing. It's just an estimate. On this orc biz. I mean, if this encampment of orcs has was the one terrorizing your entire grove out of their orc, then I'm assuming they have high numbers.
Yeah.
Or this might just
Yeah,
be
a lot
a
of them-
separated off section of orc.
Just make a backpack out of the orc. They have plenty of leather on them.
You
And
mean
it's
out
sturdy.
of their You mean out of their clothing, right? Because I'm not going
No.
to skin someone.
Why?
That's not very lawful good of me.
Well, you're being resourceful. Like you're not letting it go to waste. And anyway, like that's the way to justify it, I think.
I believe if the orcs are clothed using their, first of all, if they have a bag, I'll have the bag. If they're wearing stuff, I'm not good at crafting stuff. I've been with the next bag I find without an owner, I'm taking. End of.
That's stealing.
I said without an owner. Therefore,
Every
it is
backpack has an
claiming.
owner.
No, not every bag. If the backpack stores exist, they're for bags without owners to be given onto someone or sold onto someone. It is not. These are all my
store
backpacks.
owner. The store owner owns all the backpacks.
Fine. I will purchase a bag. I will claim a backpack, do the correct trade if necessary, and thus then I will be the owner of said backpack.
Right, so you're transferring ownership, but there's no such thing as an unowned backpack.
Yeah, well, say, I don't know, natural disaster happens, rock slide onto bag merchant. Merchant is now dead. Merchant
It belongs to the merchant still.
Dead merchant with no next of kin, completely dead family, lonesome merchant, backpack, free there. The wild claim it at that point. A bear
You can still revivify him.
No, fine. We find the over 200-year-old corpse of backpack merchant.
Yeah.
Under
The corpse could be over 200 years old.
We mine for
And
it's so old, not even true resurrection could get this guy back. We find his backpacks. Somehow they've been locked in this cave without oxygen or anything, so it couldn't decompose or rot. Perfect, pristine, ancient backpack from the past. I claim said backpack.
Yeah, okay. At that point, nobody owns the backpack.
He has no next of kin. No one gives a shit about this guy. The backpack is free to the wild. It's not. I can claim it at that point. There isn't. Don't go. You can't claim that all backpacks have an owner.
They do. Okay,
May have had an owner at some point, but things can happen to that owner that renders the backpack unowned.
I can see the point after 200 years. Like, if they can't get revived at any point, then it's no longer their backpack, and now it is an unowned backpack, and you can pick it up and it's yours at that point.
You. So is that the only situation when I can claim a backpack without buying one? Is if the corpse of the backpack merchant nearby is over 200 years old?
Or you can just make a backpack out of an orc.
Again, I don't want the skin. I don't want to make an orc leather backpack. That's going to be I know I walked around with a Nothic head on my hip for a while, but I'm a changed slime. I've since properly embraced, cat helping, and I'm a proper solid guy at the moment. But
so let me get
shouldn't
this
have
right.
taken this much longer about a backpack.
So you at the moment you're struggling to find one shard of a shattered obelisk, but you intend to go out and find a 200-year-old dead backpack merchant killed in a rock slide. To claim any leftover backpacks, assuming that they haven't rotted away. And if they have, you need to find another 200-year-old dead backpack merchant.
Yeah. So you pick up the backpack, it just turns to dust. It's unusable.
No. In this situation, the backpack was completely sealed off. It's it'll be like a fossil of a backpack at that point.
So you need to chisel it out?
Yeah, I guess, or it could be frozen in ice. Remember that ogre we saw a while ago? In another dimension, in Jacob's campaign, that ogre we saw sealed in ice.
There's no
conversation. Willow has just started emptying her backpack onto the floor on the verge of and then realizes how much stuff she's got in it and just stops and just starts putting everything back in the backpack again.
Yeah, backpacks are great.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I think
My
LeBron would have just checked out of this conversation a while ago and would have pulled Shimmer outside the tent for some fresh air.
Fair enough.
It's canon that we go back and forth until my parents come back about the ownership.
About a backpack.
This is like a 14-hour conversation.
It doesn't matter if the merchant's a zombie. It can't. It's not cognitive enough to remember the backpack as its own.
It's still his though. He can bring him back.
He has no opinion. His brain is liquid.
How do you know that he?
And I know
could use
coming from me.
for brain storage.
How do
He
you know
can put
doesn't
brains
have
in
a
it.
next of kin? How have you identified that?
This
Now it's your job to take that backpack to the next of
Fine.
kin. That's your
I will-
paladin oath.
I will scour the globe for this man's family. I will find a 1,000-year-old wizard with like a legend lore or some whatever the spell is. Identify the man, find his name. Scour the globe, put out an ad for 200-year-old backpack merchant corpse found. If you know this man, contact me here. If not within the next, I don't know, 3 weeks, that's good enough time. Backpack will then be claimed by the founder.
Or you
Oh,
could just go buy one.
Jesus.
That is the first. That is the first point. But this is the situation in which there is a backpack by the backpack merchant.
And this is
Yeah,
only about
because-
the
You come
backpacks, or
across
does this apply to any loot you might find on your adventures?
Not only backpacks, because that's all I'm in need of right now.
So
Yeah,
if
that's
you found
true.
a really nice
He's not-
sword on
otherwise-
a corpse, you wouldn't take it.
Well, I mean, that depends. I found really cool thing. I literally stole the plate armor and sword off of Hjoljak's corpse.
You did.
And
You did.
Baldwin didn't say shit about that, so he appears to be fine with it.
In
Apparently,
fairness,
he's only this prissy about backpack.
Well, he was already
That's how-
dead.
if you defeat them in battle, surely
Yeah.
as part of the defeat, all of their items of
Yeah.
ownership transfer to you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Well, there you
I
go,
am
you just said
looting
it.
my spoils.
You just
I am looting
Willow-
my spoils.
Willow just said it. It's a transfer of ownership. It's not unclaimed. So like it's yours now.
So
But
if
it's
you
not-
find a dead backpack merchant with a backpack going spare, you just stab him again, then you've won, and it's your
That's
backpack.
murder.
Not if he's already dead.
That would still be
can't fight a
desecrating
corpse.
I mean, in this again,
That's some kind of necro weird stuff. You can't be poking bodies like that.
Right, okay. If we come
We have
across
a
a dead
necromancer.
backpack person, I will animate dead. Lexi can kill him, and then Lexi has defeated him in war, and the spoils of his backpack are now Lexi's. Problem solved.
But
That's
Lexi
a lot.
made that point earlier. The zombie has no cognitive, like doesn't understand what belongs to him or
now
not.
you're
so he
agreeing
wouldn't
with
really-
me. That was one of the points you were against.
Yeah,
point,
but the
Willow
backpack
just
still belongs to the
stands
zombie. He just doesn't know it belongs to him.
Willow's
know,
gonna
that's
go
it.
search the camp for a backpack that she can buy, Lexi.
Fair enough.
And then transfer it to him.
While you're doing that,
I am writing.
let's-
That's going to be my next character. Is going to be a backpack merchant.
You better tell.
What am I
Andy-
going to name him?
You better tell Andy that right now. While you guys
Not
are arguing
far.
about that and Willow's searching the camp for a backpack, Laboran and Shimmer, what are you guys up to?
I think
Too
we
much.
just go on a bit of a walk. I don't know what. I can't remember the area exactly. Is it purely just mountainous, if you know what I mean, behind, and then just grass?
Yeah, so the camp is kind of like sat between two like probably 150-meter high cliff faces. But then beyond that is even taller mountains, and then there's the barricade that kind of stretches between the two rock faces. So it's all kind of set within a triangular shape, and at the tip of the triangle is where the two cliff faces meet. So yeah, it's somewhat grassy, but with a lot of the traffic that's been going on around here for the last few weeks, it's gotten quite muddy and boggy.
I suppose, well, Laboran anyway, trying to get directed towards other just quiet area with some like trees or something, just get away from things for a bit. I don't know if Emma wants to say anything in particular.
I don't know. Laborin wants to go for a walk. Is there something he wanted to say?
Just say, I just wanted to spend a little time with you. They were wrecking my head a little bit.
Yeah, it sounds like we're heading into another shitstorm again. So it's nice to get a few minutes with you in peace.
Yeah. What do you think about it? I know you're not used to this sort of thing.
I think you know I'm not keen on any of it, but once again, we don't appear to have much of a choice, so I'll just do my best to keep most of you alive. Not really sure I can do much for Willow anymore, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know whether to be happy that she's still here in some capacity or whether to grieve for her.
Yeah, I mean, you seem to have done a pretty good job of keeping us alive so far. As for Willow, I don't know what to think about her. I mean, I'm capable of making poison if that'll heal her, but as for who she is now, I don't know what to think of her. It's just something I've never heard of. I don't particularly trust her all that much. I'd like to get to the bottom of it.
Well, you know Willow's a very private person at the best of times, so I guess all we can do is let her work it out her own way and just be there for her if she wants us when the time comes.
Yeah, I suppose. But I did want to ask you something. What do you expect we'll find once we get to the Feywild? You've not been there for some time now.
Well, at the moment, I'm just trying to live one battle at a time. I don't even know if we're going to get there, to be honest. This whole situation here seems really messed up. Everybody seems really aggressive and tense, and I get that these people are in a really shit situation, but this whole place is massively intimidating to me. When we get to the Feywild, I don't know. Hopefully we can just nip in and out and, you know, nobody that... we won't see anybody that I know. So I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure we can get in, do what we need to do and get out again. It'd be nice to go back and visit though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll get through this fine. We have done everything else.
Not all of us.
Well, we've learned since then.
Well, Kit's not with us. Willow's dead. You know, there's no guarantees. We'll just take it as it comes.
Live in the moment, I suppose, like you do.
Well, I try to. I kind of understand why people in this plane struggle with worries and anxieties that I just never had in the Feywild. So, but yeah, we'll just live one day at a time, one battle at a time, and take it as it comes. The way that you do.
Yeah, it certainly seems like it's tougher in this realm. The Bourne will try and find some kind of like, I guess like purplish looking flower or something along those lines, and just hand it over to Shimmer as they're walking, or if they're stationary at this point, whichever sort of situation is.
Sorry, what were you
Be
looking for?
careful if the others see you.
It's just like a sort of purplish flower or whatever, like something along those lines.
Yeah, so the around the edges of the camp, like where there's a lot less walking, the grass is still pretty good, and there is like right up against the barricade, for example, there is like small stretches of grass that where the mud meets the wall, and there are flowers and things kind of growing in that space, so that's easily done.
Yeah, he'll just hand it over to Shimmer and just say, sorry, I can't remember where I left off. Yeah, here's to the future.
Be careful if the others see you, they'll think you're losing your edge.
Don't get you too used to it. You'll say that a bit jokingly.
Well, Baldwin seems to think that you can't possibly be happy with me. They think all I do is have a go.
Baldwin sees what he sees. That doesn't matter.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Unless you wanted to say more, so I'm happy at this point that they'd maybe sort of slowly make their way back.
Yeah, they've probably done a lap or two by this point. Thank you.
Good stuff. Alrighty. Anybody else got anything they want to do? Oh, Willow, do you want to make an investigation check for me?
Yeah. Thank you.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Wait, what?
A natural 20. 26.
Yes, this is going to be the best
Okay.
backpack known to
I
man.
kind of wish that I'd saved that for something more important.
No.
You know?
Nice.
Nope.
You came to play and immediately rolled it at 20. So
Yep.
you spend a bit of time, like, out of frustration of hearing this fucking nonsense from these two in the tent. Like, you kind of just like walk out and kind of like determined to find something to, you know, end this conversation essentially. It's getting towards the end of the day. We do spend a little bit of time just kind of wandering around. There's definitely no market stalls or any kind of internal trade of any kind. But you do find an older looking woman. She's a tiefling, purple tiefling, older looking. She's not got a large bell tent. Her tent is much smaller. She's one of the more poorly dressed people here, but she sat outside her tent on a wooden stool that's kind of like dug into the mud. To her side, she has kind of a stack of fabrics and materials and leather and that kind of thing, and she appears to be just kind of sat there in her own little world, just kind of stitching something.
I'll kind of wander up and just stop in front of her and just say, "Excuse me, do you make bags by any chance?"
Oh, hi dear. Yes, I make all sorts of things. What is it you're looking for?
A friend of mine lost his backpack, and he needs a new one, and they're having this whole argument to get one. And I just thought that if I could find someone around here who could make one or had one going spare, I could stop the arguing.
She kind of chuckles in a bit. Oh, give me one moment. She kind of like eases herself very gingerly out of the chair and walks inside the small tent. Roll a d20 for me. She seems to take like quite a long time You can hear her inside the tent kind of mumbling to herself. It's like it's so long and it gets to that point where it's awkward when you're waiting for somebody that says they'll be right back, and you kind of wonder. She's quite old, and you begin to wonder whether she even remembers what she's gone in there for.
Or she died.
Or she's died, yeah. It kind of crosses your mind to like maybe poke your head in and see if she's all right. But she does eventually kind of come back out, and she comes back out with this this leather backpack. The leather of it is very old and worn. However, the stitching in it is incredible. And as it's well embroidered, and there's like additional leather elements that have been stitched into it to make it quite pretty, but it is quite old. She's like, is this the kind of thing you're looking for?
That looks ideal.
Oh, well, I don't have any use for it. It was my husband's once upon a time.
Is he no longer with you?
Oh no, darling, he's long gone. Yes, more troubling times. In more troubling times, unfortunately, he passed away. But you're welcome to it. I have no use.
Do you want anything for it? I feel bad just taking it from you.
No, sweetie, you're very welcome. It's okay. Hope your friend finds a good use for it.
I hope he does too, as long as he doesn't lose this one.
Oh, make sure he doesn't. It's quite precious.
I will threaten him with it.
Okay, yeah.
I will take the bag and turn to leave. And as I'm leaving, I'll just sort of try. Is there anywhere, sort of, as I'm walking away, where I can kind of shove some gold? Just to, like, almost like hiding it from her so she can find it later.
There's the kind of like this wicker basket next to the stool that she's been kind of working from. She's like taking a moment to like gingerly collect a few things and set herself back in the stool. You find a brief moment where you could maybe slip some gold into the stack of fabrics that are there.
I'd like to try and just shove 50 gold in there.
Easily done.
50?
I'm currently walking around with 2,000 gold in my pocket, guys.
Wow.
It's not really breaking the bank.
Yeah, but for a backpack, like it costs like a silver or something.
Let
It's
me
ancient.
hear the nice old lady.
And there's your rogue, ladies
The
and
horror
gentlemen.
that you all expressed about me spending 2 gold on an inn room.
Yeah, because that was too much hassle.
Easily done, Willow. She gingerly sits herself back down to her stool and gets back to the work she was doing.
Thank you so much. Have a good afternoon, evening.
You too.
Night.
Takes you a
Yeah,
few
we'll
minutes
just
to get
stop.
back to the tent.
I'll kind of, as I get back to the tent, I'll look at the new backpack and I'll just kind of look at Lexi. And then I'll look at the backpack again. As I imagine him and Baldwin are still having this argument.
Yeah, we're like, rabble.
And I'll empty the contents of my backpack into the new backpack. And then just kind of cough loudly and just be like, Lexi, shut up. And just hand him my old backpack, which is now empty.
Oh, thank you. I'll just make hard eye contact. But yeah, I don't have eyes, but Baldwin feels hard eye contact. Okay, well, how much would you like for this?
It's a gift.
Thank you. And I'll give Willow a quick, bit too tough hug. There we go.
Like, just please
Oh.
don't ever discuss the nuances of backpack on ownership ever again.
Snug as a bug.
I quite enjoyed the debate, actually.
Never
So did I.
again.
See, Willow, you missed an opportunity there to take some gold from him and become a backpack merchant yourself.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, but you see,
Yeah.
You could have run off in the night and get crushed by some boulders.
yeah, that's
You
the
could have
problem. Is I then run the
actually-
risk of dying by rock slide, and that's not how I want to go.
Should have asked for your gold back. Then
Sometimes we don't get to choose how we go.
While that was happening, I have made up on D&D Beyond Boris the Backpack Merchant, who is a reborn artificer.
Oh, for fuck's
He's a
sake.
reborn artificer because he was dead for 200 years.
I'm glad you paid attention to the game, Adam.
I have been. I'm good at multitasking.
Cool. Very nice. Final call for anything else anybody wants to do. The day is slowly coming to a close.
I'm just cooling off from the debate, I guess.
Yeah. It got too heated.
Yeah, a little too heated, so I'm just kind of cooling off.
Yeah. I'll fan my slimy goodness.
It gets later on into the evening. You guys are all good to fix yourself food and, you know, have whatever conversations you're having into the evening. Night falls, and opportunity to make rest is entirely yours, if that's what you're looking to do. Or is there anything anybody would like to do in the night?
Sleep.
There are lots of things I'd like to do in the night, but we probably shouldn't RP it.
No, agreed.
Ah.
That's cool. Let's just assume that happened.
Fade to black.
LeBron has a wee in the middle of the night.
It has a weird. All right, cool. Make a perception check for me.
No.
Just having a wee impose advantage.
Yeah.
Disadvantage?
He's
Is it a perception
sleepwalking.
check to find it?
Does he leave to have a wee because Willow no longer sleeps?
Yeah. What do you mean you no longer
is
sleep?
Interesting.
Well, I'm undead.
Laboran, you step out of the
Something
tent to find somewhere to take a piss, which is normally just between a couple of tents somewhere. Like there's no latrines or anything around here. Like it's all pretty like dodgy. So you find yourself somewhere comfortable that you've been doing for the somewhere comfortable that you've been going to for the last couple of days.
Yeah.
You sit there, you do that usual thing where you kind of start taking a piss, kind of look up at the stars and all that kind of stuff, and anything but staring at your own dick. And kind of just
It's true.
surveying the area for a minute. With a 22, you see a creature, multi-legged. It looks almost spider-like, off in the distance along the edge of the barricade wall. It walks along the floor, scrambles up the side of the wall, over the top and down the other side.
Right, okay. Was it like quite big then? I assume if I saw it.
Yeah, it was large. Mm-hmm.
Would I have any clue of what it actually was? Or...
Make a nature check for me.
Nature.
It looked like it could have been a spider, it could have been a scorpion. It was an 8-legged creature of some description that appeared to climb walls like a spider might. What
Right,
specifically it was is too dark to tell.
Well, in the interest of not getting myself killed, I will go back to the tent. And when morning comes around, I'll try and ask people who might know about nature.
So otherwise, head into bed.
Yeah.
So you all bed down for the night. And Baldwin, you're probably the only one awake in the early hours because you only need a short amount of time to rest. So while the others still sleep, you wake. But as dawn does begin to gently break, you hear it first, Baldwin, since you're up. But the rest of you, they are awoken by screams of multiple people shouting, screams of people who sound like they're in pain or in trouble or in fear, shouts of authoritative figures that appear to be, we can't tell what's being said, but kind of like almost in a demanding fashion. You then hear kind of more footsteps rushing along the side of your tent in the direction to where this sound is coming from.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming everyone's like kind of starting to get up, so kind of just kind of rush out to see like what's going on.
Yeah, so the rest of you kind of like starting to stir with this ruckus. Baldwin, you head out of your tent and you look down to the right, and towards the end of this kind of row of tents, there is a crowd of people that are stood around the outside of one of the smaller tents. There are a number of individuals stood around there. Some of them kind of more imposing, authoritative figures that you can kind of recognize from the distance to be people like Fenrir and Hans and Michael. And then there are other kind of individuals, two of which are currently sat on the floor while Hans and Michael are shouting at them.
Okay.
Have we taken a long rest? by
You
this
will have taken a
point,
long
or-
rest, yes.
Thank you, because that matters to me.
Okay. I guess
And a crowd is starting to form around this now. Other people are kind of getting into mild altercations as well, while they're kind of like, while this is kind of this almost interrogation of these individuals is taking place. There are other people that are kind of like pointing and looking at it, and then arguing about it and giving each other little shoves. And there's a general foray of, you know, intimidation and conflict happening.
Okay. I run in.
Okay.
To see.
What are the rest of you doing?
I will fall. I'm like,
I'd
what's
probably
going on?
get
I'm
up
just
and
following.
follow- Yeah, just follow Baldwin out of the tent.
I'm going to cast Mage Armor, and then I'm going to follow him out the tent.
Oh dear.
Smart.
Cool. So you kind of all collectively run up to kind of see what's going on. You have to kind of like fight your way through a few people, and then kind of give you a look as you kind of barge past. But what the scene that you come across is Fenrir kind of like with his arm on top of this smaller tent, kind of peering in. You can see inside there appears to be an individual. You don't know who they are. They're kind of like tearing through belongings and all that kind of stuff. They're a team, like they're looking for something inside this tent. There's then Michael and Hans, who are stood over imposingly two individuals, a slightly older male and a slightly older female, who you know well, Baldwin, to be Xander's parents.
Oh.
And their Hans himself is kind of going, what has he done? Explain everything. Tell me everything you know. Fenrir's not saying anything, but he's just kind of observing and supervising the scene. Michael
Okay.
has a slightly smug look on his face.
Welcome. I hate Michael.
I guess I go to my grandfather and ask him like, what's going on?
He very calmly kind of turns to you.
Baldwin. Well, it would seem your very good friend here has everything to do with the orcs.
Xander?
Yes.
No way.
Most definitely. Michael here followed him out yesterday when he was meant to be conducting his duties and found him in cahoots.
What proof does he have?
Well, we're going to go there very shortly and find out. Until we find more evidence and gather more people to embark, we will face these orcs and Xander head on.
So Xander isn't here. He's supposedly with the orcs.
Yes, Michael has seen him himself. I ordered him to scout yesterday and follow him.
And you trust Michael? He could have sent me.
You must stay here. That was my order, and I am the one that gives the orders, not you. Don't question me, boy.
There must be some kind of explanation for all this. Xander would not do that.
Well, when Michael leads us to where he's camped out with the orcs, we will find out and we'll question him ourselves. That's after we've
Okay,
slain
well,
all
can
the
you-
orcs.
Can you please leave his parents alone? There's
think
no
they-
proof. There's nothing to go on.
Surely they know something. He's been camped out with them for weeks. If he's involved, it wouldn't go unnoticed
Okay.
by his parents. Do not
It would
question
be terrible
Then-
if somebody's parents knew something and didn't tell them about it. That's awful. It's the worst thing anyone could do.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can be quiet. I didn't ask you a word.
Grandfather, please let me just speak to them. I know them. I can get through to them. If they know anything, I can get that information. Please just leave them be.
Make a persuasion check.
Right.
Oh. 13.
No, you stay behind. Hans and Michael will handle this for the time being. When there's more to know, you'll find out. But now go back. Stay there. Don't get in the way again. Keep your friends away.
Okay. Whatever you say. Let's get out of here.
As
I
you,
turn to walk away.
as you walk away, Michael is kind of like you kind of like stood across from each other. He's got his arms crossed and he's kind of got a smug look on his face, and he kind of looks at you like, got a good fuck you look on his face.
I don't react. I just keep the stare for a few seconds and just look away. I don't want to give him the satisfaction. That's not give him like satisfaction. Like that, I'm like pissed off.
As you kind of like start to back away, you hear Fenrir start to give some orders out to a few people. Somebody else comes out from behind the tent and from inside the tent and shakes their head to kind of suggest that there's nothing that they found.
Baldwin.
Yeah.
So I got up in the middle of the night last night and went out, and I saw something a bit odd. I thought I'd ask you, as you know, your tribe, and
Oh, yeah.
maybe you know about animals and stuff. There was this really large, weird 8-legged thing, looked like maybe a spider, but far too big to be a normal spider, crawling around the fence.
Yeah. Can I try to figure out what he's talking about?
Make a nature check.
Okay.
Try and think about what he
Nice,
could be
well.
talking about based on his description. No, you're not sure.
I mean, from what I know of Laboranet, it could have been a giant wolf spider. Some people do know what wild shape into giant spiders. Maybe that's what you saw last night. Or in,
From a wild shape and leave them.
they left.
That's what it was, Jack, wasn't it? Climbed over the fence. And
Climbed over the fence from the inside up to the outside.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that is strange. Somebody was sneaking off.
I mean, maybe I should.
Maybe we could use this.
Do you know where exactly?
Sorry, were you saying something?
No, it's okay. Carry on.
Okay. I don't know exactly. Maybe I should have followed, but I didn't want to. I didn't have my equipment or anything. Use all the sleep. I didn't want to get.
He was mid-flow.
I mean, maybe we could check out the area, but I don't know what would be left behind.
Yeah, I mean, like someone sneaking around like that is definitely up to no good.
Well, maybe
also
we
gotta
could
figure out how to
use
get out of
this
here.
motion to leave. They're all distracted. Let's just make a run for it.
That's what I was thinking. Probably is the time now to try to get ahead of them before they go after the orcs and get themselves killed or whatever, and clear Xander's name. I don't think he's involved in this in any way, and if he is, we'll deal with it.
You guys are kind of still stood like a little distance away from the ruckus that's happening a little further up the path. You see Fenris kind of like pointing and giving orders, and at some point he does point to Michael. You don't hear what he says, he's too far away, but you see Michael give a nod, and he quickly wild shapes into a horse, and he starts to gallop towards the gate. Fenrir raises his hand to the kind of guards that are stood there watching it, as if to allow him through, and he bolts off through the gate and out.
So guards.
So, I mean, I'm up for a little prison break, but maybe we should wait for Baldwin's parents to polymorph us like they wanted.
I might be able to get us out of here a little bit faster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what's your plan?
And Willow will pull out the deck of dimensions from her brand new backpack. I have reason to believe that I can expend 3 charges of my deck of dimensions to cast Arcane Gate.
Oh, wow. What did that do?
I think you might.
That'll create 2 portals. One wherever I want within like 10 feet, I think, Arcane Gate. And the other within 500 feet. So we could literally just walk out of the camp and be 500 feet away.
That's amazing.
I mean, fuck it, I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're going to go, we've got to go now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess we'd leave a note. Leave a note in our
Let's not.
tent. I'll have it in. I'll put it in. I don't know, Lexington Junior's mouth, so it's clean. He can like spit it out when they show up.
I thought he could speak.
He can speak, but I know.
Can you just leave a voicemail?
Yeah, I'll leave a voicemail with my call. Okay, Junior, repeat after me. We've fucked off. Out of here.
Fuck you.
When I know the angry man and the nice lady show up, tell them we've arcane gated away after Michael the cunt. He's really. I don't like him. He's a horrible man.
That's an understatement.
I just like that that's his name.
What, Michael?
Right, are we going then? We've got to make a decision and go.
Yeah, let's go.
I'll leave
Yeah,
my
let's do it.
voicemail off at the horse.
We need to get as close to the gates as we can because I need to be able to see the point where I put the second portal.
Oh, then,
You need to see. You see 500 feet away.
I mean, at this point,
Is it only the one that I have to be able to see, or is it?
You have to see both points.
I mean, it's
We
within
should put it
500
down
feet.
and put it in yeah, I
mean-
it's meant to be there.
at this point, Shimmer could invis Willow, and then Willow could cast it that way.
I mean, look, if it comes to it, I can invis 2 of you. I don't know if Baldwin can polymorph the other 2 and then wild shape himself.
I can only polymorph 1.
As long as I can see outside the camp, it doesn't have to be 500 feet, but as long as I can
Is
see.
it just or Jeff the car, whatever?
Oh, Jacob,
Jacob, you're like,
my sweet summer child.
I'm thinking this entrance is gonna be full of crates and stuff that we can hide behind. So maybe Willow can kind of like peek out of a corner, you know, and kind of like look through the gate, and then put one behind like the boxes, and then go through there and get out.
You do at this point.
I would assume.
You do at this point, rounding the corner in kind of a forceful march towards the ruckus that's still carrying on. You do see your father and mother kind of making their way in that direction.
Okay, I kind of like wave them to see like to get their attention to come over here.
Okay, they make their way towards you. Your father's the first one to speak. What's going on?
Fenrir, my grandfather says that apparently Xander's behind all this with the orcs, but I don't believe it for 1 second. And he has Michael and Hansa interrogating his parents, and they're innocent in all this. And apparently they're gonna assemble some people and go fight the orcs head on, and presumably find Xander with them in cahoots.
Oh, for fuck's sake. He taps your mother on the shoulder and says, wait here. Makes his way towards Fenrir and the others.
Okay. I was going to say he already sent Michael off, but fine.
That too.
You might have to act quickly.
Yes, this is the time. If it no other.
We have our own method of sneaking out.
Oh. Okay. Didn't mention
Well, I
that
think they might
before.
spot there's a risk of being seen at 500 yards, if I'm honest. So
Yeah, I guess your method is still less conspicuous, but we have a way of quickly exiting.
I see. It's up to you there, but an opportunity could well present itself soon if we were to do this.
That would be the best possible option.
Well, wait here a moment. Let me see if I can lend a hand to these poor people. Kind of.
Yes,
goes
please.
in that direction. You look off into the distance and you can see, as your mother is approaching the group, Bartholomew is having a conversation with Fenrir. It's not an argumentative discussion. He's just kind of nodding and there's some gesturing. Your mother kind of steams in through the crowd and immediately kind of like pushes Michael to the side, and she doesn't give a fuck about him. She's not scared of him in any way. Kind of pushes him to the side and kneels down to the Xander's parents, and just kind of very empathetically kind of like talking to them and offering them a hand and all this kind of stuff. So you can see that from a distance. Your father then finishes up his conversation with Fenrir and makes his way towards you. Fenrir turns his attention back to the situation in front of him. Bartholomew comes towards you. Okay, things are getting quite difficult. Xander is scouting ahead to lock down Xander accordingly. In the meantime, Fenrir and Michael will be gathering a force by which to attack this apparent orc encampment. That will take some time. So, while they're doing that, we might have an opportunity to get you out.
Perfect. Yes. The sooner the better. I gotta reach Xander. Make sure he's okay.
Understood. Okay. I'll meet you back in your tent in 5-10 minutes, and we'll wait for the prime opportunity. Unless there's anything else you wanted to do.
I don't know. Any preparations, folks?
Nah, I've got everything on me.
Everyone got their backpacks?
Yes, I've got a new one. Well, I think it smells a bit dead. I can't smell. Looks a bit dead.
Yes, well, I believe we have everything. We'll wait for you.
Or doing more than enough, thank you, sir.
Very good. Be ready to leave soon. Turns from you and
Thank you, Father.
makes his way back towards the altercations taking place in the camp.
I got to go delete my message off the horse.
Clear
Clear.
history?
Clear.
Oh, no.
Clear.
Right. The irony that you did not clearly say the word clear.
Adam, I can't believe you've done this, mate.
As mid-Bourbon. Fair enough. Cool. What are you guys doing?
I suppose walking back to the tent.
So you go back to the tent, kind of like, feeling like time is coming to get yourselves out of here. About 15 to 20 minutes passes, and your mother and father come back into the tent. They do it very hurriedly. Before they were very polite about making their way, but they just kind of like breeze straight into the tent. Okay, now is the time. They're distracted with doing other things. I have an opportunity and a reason to get out for a short while Fenrir is busy. We're doing it polymorph way, then that's great. But Tabitha mentioned you may have another way you might want to do it.
Your way is far more conspicuous. Our way was a sort of if you couldn't reach us in time type situation.
Yeah, I did.
It was also a doesn't use any spell slots kind of way.
Yeah.
Also, upon some research, apparently people in D&D can see 2 miles on a clear day.
Whoa.
Well, like in normal life,
Yeah.
On top of a mountain, maybe.
real life.
Is that a fuck? What?
I would like to be a bird.
Apparently you can see 2 miles in any direction on a clear day until the point where trees or other obstructions block the view. Rain cuts visibility down to 1 mile, and fog cuts it down to between 100 and 300 feet. And on a clear day on top of a mountain, you can see 40 miles.
No. Anyway.
Dungeon Master Guide.
Oh, the DM guide, really?
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah,
fuck.
chapter 8.
Damn.
Wow. Okay. Who am I polymorphing?
Birding me, please.
You're not going to be a bird. Taps
No.
you. Do you resist the spell?
No.
Okay. You
You're very
quickly polymorphed into like a very small hamster, essentially. Tabitha kind of bends down, picks you up very gently, and places you into a backpack.
Yay!
Okay, who am I taking?
Laborin, Willow.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll just get the golden armor.
It's okay, sweetheart. It doesn't hurt. Touches you again. You don't resist, I assume?
No.
Again, into like a cute little hamster type thing. Pops you in the bag. Baldwin, I believe you need to do another.
Yes. I touch Laborin on the shoulder and I say, "I'll see you on the other side, friend." And then I try to turn him into a hamster, I suppose.
Okay.
No. Make him a crab.
Tabitha picks him up and pops him into the backpack.
Giant crab.
Wild shaping yourself, I assume, Baldwin?
Yeah, I guess a roten of some kind is the same thing.
Mm-hmm. And Shimmer, you are invising yourself. Very good. Bartholomew takes the backpack and quickly puts it on. Okay, Shimmer, follow me as closely behind as you can. You've not been put into the backpack, Baldwin. Tabitha picks you up very gently and just gives you a very gentle kiss on the top of your hamster head. And good luck.
All right.
Be safe. And yeah, just remember that you need to come back for your father, okay?
Yes, of course. As soon as we can.
Okay. She'll lift the flap of the backpack and pop you inside. The four of you are kind of now like in the bottom of this dark, leathery space, just kind of like, you know, this
rattling around.
Amazing that you found that, Jacob.
Yes, I love G.
I always thought that film was
I love
a dream.
G-Force.
I love G-Force.
Bartholomew then quickly, hurriedly leaves the tent and looks around very briefly to see if anybody's paying any attention to him, and then kind of in a very gentle, a very fast walk kind of makes his way towards the gate of the encampment. You're following behind closely, Shimmer?
Yeah.
Okay. As he gets to the gate, there's an individual who stops him and says, Bartholomew, where are you heading to?
Fenrir has ordered me to make contact with one of the scouts in the woods. I'll be back in a couple of hours. That's all you need to know.
Very well. And it goes back to like a very small pedestal where there's a bit of parchment and appears to make a note on it. And then Bartholomew speedily hurries off into the fielded area in front, and after a little while ends up in the woods and in the trees. It takes you guys further and further. Those in the backpack have got no idea what's going on. Shimmer, you're following. Eventually comes to a stop in an enclosed space within the woods. Takes off the backpack, empties it onto the floor. You all kind of tumble out. He's not very gentle, not like Tabitha, who was very gentle. He just kind of like empties you out onto the floor. He drops his polymorph spell on whoever had it before. Can't remember who it was.
Me.
Very good, Lexi. Kind of looks around. Baldwin, wherever you are.
Right here, and then I pop up.
Good luck, my son, and please return as swiftly as you can.
Of course, good luck to you too, Father. We shouldn't take too long, but we'll be back as soon as possible.
The information Michael gave, there is a rutted area of terrain to the east, about half a day. If you can pick up a track, that would be good. But you are looking for a cave entrance. Michael described it as something of ancient, or at least very old, opening in the side of the rutted area of this mountainside. If you can find it, then you'll likely find him, and hopefully not Xander.
Of course, yeah. Shouldn't be too hard to track down an orc. They smell pretty bad.
They certainly do. Head east. Find this ancient cave entrance. Find Michael. Deal with him if you must. Return and deal with the orcs as well. Very good.
Of course, I'll do what I can.
Might have an opportunity to amend that ledger. Kind of throws the backpack back on and storms away. Obviously, Baldwin, you have the polymorph spell on Laboran. But Willow, you're still currently polymorphed until it is dropped.
Oh, that's right.
Keep him happy.
Okay, well, I dropped on Laboran.
Oh.
Guys, you are now free of the camp. The world is yours. What do you want to do?
Wait, Willow's still a little hamster, right?
She is for the next, maybe 40 minutes or so, or until Bartholomew gets back and tells Tabitha to drop the spell.
I mean, if I'm 60 feet away, surely it drops.
I don't think it does.
Because would it not? Do they not have to be in range, or does that not matter?
In range to cast?
What if we step on her?
In range to maintain.
Okay.
What if we step on her? She'll
The
revert back to
lasts
humanoid?
for the duration, which is an hour, or until the target drops to 0 hit points or dies. That's the only reason for it to drop.
I mean,
how many hit points?
if you want,
just 1 hit point. Just 1 hit point.
Can be arranged.
Yeah, it can be arranged.
That was a joke. I did not say that.
Am I just on the floor now?
Well, unless somebody's picked you up, yeah.
I'll pick you up and I'll speak to you. It's like, hello. Wait, no, that's not the way it works, right?
She can understand you, but you... No, you cannot. You are a fucking hamster. You're also dumb as shit.
I know, it's wild. It's wild shape, isn't it?
But I can't speak to animals with her, right? That's not the way it works.
She can understand you. Oh, can she? No.
Can I not just throw myself off his hand? Just
you
like full blown lemon it.
Really, to understand that you would need to do that.
I don't know what kind of stat block a hamster's got, if I'm honest with you.
It would be very similar to a rat, to be honest.
Yeah.
You're smarter than the giant.
If I just tried to run away from Baldwin while I'm on his hand, I could just run off his hand, which is a stupid thing to do because I'm just running straight ahead. Like just lemming
Well,
it.
what if I just kind of like
Call a lemming.
clasp you?
Roll a d20.
Oh, you
Roll a d20 for me. Okay, and then a rat has -4 to that, so a 6. Yeah, okay. I'll say you're intelligent enough at this point with that roll to want to get away from Baldwin, and therefore you fall off, and you will take
How much? 5 feet of.
we'll say it was 6. So
Ouch.
you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage, which drops to shape, and you take 4 carryover.
Okay.
I mean, you should have just waited.
Oh, there you go,
20
Willow.
minutes it's going to take him to
Nah.
get back to the cap and drop it, but yeah.
That's fine.
There you go.
I wasn't willing to be a hamster while everybody else was just normal again.
You weren't overlooking for a gerbil.
I mean, technically, I was
Well,
a dead gerbil. Which is a bit
True. Yep, you're right. Zombie gerbil.
So east.
Oh yes, east. Let us march forth to this ancient caves
With haste.
with haste.
With haste.
He said half a day, so I guess whenever, like, I'm sure we journeyed enough where like we can kind of like figure out how long we can keep track of time.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
Fine.
Unless we're gonna like talk on the way. I guess what I'll do as we get close enough, I'll probably like wall shape into like a cave bear and
Okay.
trying to sniff out
Whoa.
like the works.
Step out.
That's a big thing.
Are we gonna do some sneaking? You're right.
I mean,
Yeah, no, you're right. 100%. Feline. I'm gonna do saber, especially in the mountains. Makes sense. Is it snowing?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be a saber tooth anyway. Well, once we get to that point.
Okay, so you're trying to
And then-
sniff out orcs?
if we come across
Yes.
dead
Make
backpack
A
merchant, I'm gonna.
perception check for me. Does the cave bear have advantage on perception checks? Let me check for you.
Saber tooth.
Oh, Sabretooth.
I think it should be for smells. I hope, or I
Keen
think maybe
smell.
it's just seeing.
Yeah, advantage on perception checks that rely on smell. Yep.
All right, let's try to sniff out some works.
Uh, 18. Unfortunately, you don't pick up any smell of orc right now, but you do pick up a strong smell of horse.
Michael. I just like dart my eyes like Michael. Like under my voice. And then like I smell blood song. He's over this way. And kind of just like start going over there.
Okay. Cool. Can you please make a survival check for me?
Survival check. As a saber tooth, right?
No, that's a wisdom, so it would be your one.
Oh, right. Cool. Where the hell are you? Survival. 16.
Cool. So you managed to keep this scent for a good hour or two. Heading east, you managed to maintain the scent and the trail of it. And just roll one more perception check with advantage.
Yeah. Perception with advantage.
Yeah, very good. Yep. With that, you're able to track him pretty much throughout the rest of the day and using smell. However, he is moving much faster, and the scent, the potency of the scent is kind of getting weaker the more as the day goes on, because he is moving presumably at a much faster pace than you guys can walk.
What if we were to pick up the pace? Would we suffer any penalty?
You would not have advantage on stealth checks, and you would also impact the DC on perception checks as you move. But you could double speed. Yep. Somebody's gonna have to help Willow.
I was going to say we're going to
Well,
be
she
at a
can-
maximum of 50 feet.
I
Can she
do
ride
it.
on?
I'm buff.
Oh, that's. Oh, what about the horse? Or you're just gonna keep him over there, Lexi?
We left the horse behind.
I mean,
Alright.
if
He can summon him.
the horse arse melts because I can't have more than one at a time. Actually, can I?
No, once
I'm
you
a-
cast it again, the old one disappears.
Could Willow ride on the saber tooth?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I'm large, and she's considered small.
Happy with that.
Cool.
Do we need to be rushing?
Right along.
No, like, with double speed. Is it not? I don't know. What if we just end up running it like practically into the band of orcs? You know what I mean? If we're losing our perception and can't stealth and things.
I have a good nose. I don't know if that'll come into play. Like in case that what Jacob is saying happens. Like we just kind of run into him.
I mean, I'd rather we lose the essence of surprise than get lost. Than lose him entirely. So,
Okay. Is it wooded area? Is it like open plains? Like what's the landscape like?
So in that couple of hours that you spent tracking initially, you did leave the wooded area and you ended up in more open terrain. And kind of like going up and down hills for a little bit. So yeah, it's been about 50-50 so far in the travel of woods and open terrain. You've got, with half a day away, moving at speed, I'll say, yeah, if you're doubling your speed and you guys are happy to make that, obviously having that disadvantage on stealth and higher DCs on perception to find things and see enemies, then you could get there in another 3 to 4 hours of tracking.
I mean, so if we go at normal speeds, like we still know where we're going, don't we?
Yeah, you do run the risk of losing the scent on the horse. That's the only problem.
I don't know.
Is okay.
Much, to be honest, or anything.
I
just think we're better off knowing what's going on.
What if I were to run ahead, or LeBourne runs ahead, like as a scout, kind of like to figure out where it is, and then kind of like run back to the rest of us?
I don't. Splitting the party isn't.
Well, like that's why I said LeBourne or me, because we're like we would be the fastest. I have 40 feet. I think LeBourne has like triple that or something. So.
I mean, I think I can go. I can go like 90 foot every 6 seconds if need be, but then that'd be doubling my speed, so it just run the same risk.
This is like I see both sides where, like, obviously, like we lose the smell, like the scent, like we're kind of just stuck in the open, and I also see like the thing of like, what if we run into the orcs? I don't know. I think it'll be harder to spot one person or one animal. Like it could be me, because maybe they just think I'm just a dumb saber tooth. You get me? Like, oh, they won't think anything, and I can just get ahead, catch up with Michael, kind of like find the opening, and then run back to you guys and be like, okay, now I know where it is. Now we can kind of walk instead of running. I don't know what you guys think.
I mean, you'd be gone for hours. Like, a lot can happen in that time. If something does go wrong, you're completely on your own.
I mean, assuming he's half a day away, we could run for a couple hours and then slow down. There's nothing. We don't have to run the entire thing. I vote we put your foot down, metaphorically, but for a bit. Make sure we won't lose it, and when the smell sort of kind of stagnates, because that when he reaches his destination, because he's going to reach there before us. We're not faster than a horse, even while running.
Yeah.
I vote we run for I don't know, an hour or two, and then I don't know, stop. But hopefully, he'll stop before us, and then we can just follow there.
I guess that's true. We can run through the open areas since it really doesn't matter. Like it's gonna be open, and then maybe just walk to the wooded areas since it'll be harder to see.
I'm
So it's like a half and half, because I believe that's what Jack said, right? It's like half open, half wood.
Sorry, that's just been on the amount of travel you've done so far. You have no idea what's ahead of you.
Okay, it's in kind of hilly, so
whatever. Let's just go.
Yeah.
Run for a couple hours, and then once we
Yeah,
slow
kind of
down, we're
running
closer
closer
to
away.
our guest. I don't know, destination.
if we double time it, is it just disadvantage on what we see and not what we smell?
Yes, just on visual perception checks.
Okay. Okay. So are we doing the sprinting for a few hours and then like slow down and then?
Yeah, run for an hour,
slow
run for like
down.
2.5 hours, and then slow down.
Okay.
Great.
Go.
Make. How do we want to do this? Let's do it like this. Why not?
Epic roll.
Oh no! Don't tell me. Here.
Let's go like this.
Stealth. I'm gonna crow.
Here we go. We should give little binoculars so she can be like my back, like running ahead to see if she's Michael. There he is.
Yeah.
Q.
Uses a flat roller at disadvantage.
Yeah, sorry. No, it's not a disadvantage. It's the DC's higher.
Okay.
Do I do it at advantage or is it just flat?
This is to see, so this is flat.
Okay.
The irony of this being an epic roll is kind of hilarious. Yeah.
Well, we didn't roll very epic.
You guys, you kind of sprint across this open terrain for a couple of hours, like very Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli style. And yeah, you don't see any threats. In fact, you don't see anything. You don't see any kind of civilization or wildlife, or significant wildlife. At least, obviously, there's birds and things, but yeah, you don't see anything. You then, as you kind of like crest one of the hills, you can see that the mountainside, to your north and to your left, one of the mountains kind of stretches out along this plateau, and creates this ridge of much shallower mountainside, and terrain. And within that, it's like, it's still really high, but it stretches along for miles across this open bit of plain, and kind of runs north to south. Kind of essentially is anyway. You would have to traverse it, but it could also be the direction you need to go in. So if you want to keep heading east, like you've done that, you've probably got like a couple of hours at a walking speed now to get in that general direction. But roll another perception check with advantage for me, Baldwin.
Okay.
Just good enough.
Jesus.
You do just about maintain the scent on this horse, and you feel like if you keep a walking pace, you might be able to follow it for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I suppose I guess the smart move we can do is keep walking. I think Lexi had said it before, was until like keep walking until it starts to get really thin, and then pick up the pace to try to keep up with it.
Yep.
So we're not sprinting all the time. and getting too tired or whatever, or like getting disadvantages.
So make
Yeah,
Yes.
I think we've only got 2 hours left to get to reach it anyway. I think that we can just walk. I don't think we need to run anymore.
so
Yes.
make a survival
Yeah,
check.
just in case.
Make a survival check for me, Baldwin, to see how long you can keep track of this scent for.
Oh crap. Okay. 15.
15's fine. You do manage to just about like the scent. The scent is definitely very much wearing off, but you manage to follow it. You do end up going through a small wooded area, and as you come out the other side, you come face to face with the side of this jutted out part of the mountain. And just kind of off into the distance, and you're kind of very much elevated, and then it drops down into the base of this this plateau. And in the very base of the plateau, it looks very tiny, almost like you could reach out and kind of like pick it up with your in between your fingertips. Is a very rectangular, dark shape within the side of the plateau.
Oh, that must be it.
That's it then. I guess we go quiet from here.
Yeah. At least now we know where it is. Now we can take our time.
So
It's open field essentially between where you are now and this thing. So looking down into it right now, it's like it's too far away to see any individuals of any kind or anything down there, but you can start to make your way towards it if you like.
Weird.
Yeah.
Baldwin, you can still cast your Pass Without a Trace spell, right?
Not well shaped, but I mean I can drop it right now and put it on if you'd like me to.
I mean, if we can secure the an element of surprise, I would like that. So if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course, yes. I'll drop out a wall shape and I'll cast Pass Without Trace. I should still have it, 100%. To level 2.
Then I will, I guess, find a bush or like a tree, and I try and camouflage me as best as possible by sticking it in me.
Okay.
And cover myself in leaves using my own slime as an adhesive.
Yeah. So now you're just a metally clanking shrub.
Yes, a bush. At home, in a plane. One would assume.
Are
The
you
old
guys
clanking shrub.
Are you guys making your way towards this thing in the side of the mountain?
Why is nobody
Yeah.
else camouflaging themselves?
As stealthily as we
Lexi.
can, I suppose.
Yes.
Alexi, would you like Veil of Dusk?
Yes. I don't entirely remember what it does, but yes.
Well, it only lasts for 10 minutes, so
Let's pelt it then. I'll be a bush on the move.
does it look like we could reasonably get down there in 10 minutes and be stealthy?
No, not really.
Okay. When we're closer.
It's like
When
it's
we're
really
closer,
far
if we've
away.
not already been yeah.
It's a tiny little triangle that we can like put our fingers like.
Yeah, it's right.
Just, like,
really
around the
far
edges.
off into the
I mean,
distance.
the mouth of a cave. Oh, we've lost Jacob. He's back.
Yeah, well, it's rectangular shaped, and as you guys kind of start to draw nearer, you can see that it appears to be crafted into the side of the stone, rather than it being a natural shape. You get within, I'd say about 300 feet. You're still quite far away, but it is clearer now. There are 2 burnt out campfires on the outside of this entrance, and a few kind of like bedrolls scattered around the outside. And as you kind of just like start to approach and are keeping an eye on it, you do see 6 orcish individuals walk out of the rectangular entrance and start to interact in some way with the belongings and the things in the area there. You have complete oversight and observation down into this place, so you're in a slightly elevated position still. And you can see down into it. But that is where we'll end the session, guys, and we'll pick up next week.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you very much. I hope you had fun. And I'll see you all next week.
Yeah.
Laters.
Ciao.
Adios.
Thanks.